Welcome in, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma here, live with some severe weather coverage. This is going to be the start of it for this evening and likely going to be going for a while, as we do have severe thunderstorms popping up very, very quickly across the Upper Peninsula to start. Again, if you're just joining us, Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma here. Feel free to hit that like and share button as we get started. This will be the start of our wall-to-wall coverage this evening, as numerous severe thunderstorms are expected across the region. All hazards are possible. We start with number one of the evening, here in the central portions of the Upper Peninsula. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Should be coming through pretty well at the current time. And as we get started here, we'll go ahead and read off the details for the first severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Marquette County and southeastern Baraga County and north central Upper Michigan until 6:15 p.m. At 5:08, a severe thunderstorm was located near Michigami, or 19 miles west of Ishpeming, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Hazards: 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. It is radar indicated roof damage, siding damage, and tree damage all possible, as well as hail damage to vehicles is expected. Locations impacted by the severe thunderstorm warning include Marquette, Ishpeming, Presque Isle, Negaunee, Michigami, Champion, Shot Point, Little Presque Isle, Trowbridge Park, West Ishpeming, Harvey, and Lake Michigami. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until midnight Eastern Time for north central Upper Michigan. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Again, feel free to like and share. We're going to be live here for quite some time this evening as we have multiple cells ramping up across the state. Our wording's a little more intense with these storms today just because there is an all hazards threat. And some of the ingredients that are on the table right now are fairly favorable for especially large hail and the possibility for a couple tornadoes. At the current time, I'm watching a couple cells besides our main severe thunderstorm warning up here in the Marquette region. This one is already starting to get a hook. The one to the south down here, just the north of Florence, out here in rural portions of Iron County, that one has a hook on it. That one's going to be starting to rotate here soon. And the main storm that we were watching on our WatersMeet camera, very, very large in nature, also has an area of perhaps some gusty winds on the southwest side of that. That is heading for Iron River. None of these cells are warned except for the one that is heading towards downtown Marquette and Ishpeming at the current time. So again, if you are tuning in and asking about the Lower Peninsula right now, we're going to encourage you guys to go ahead and check out our forecast from earlier today. Perhaps check out our briefing from earlier today. We had two of them. We had one last night, one this morning. Also, our timing map is on our page right now. Feel free to check that out. That'll give you guys an idea of what to expect this evening, especially for timing overnight. Again, this is going to be an overnight threat. This is going to be primarily an Upper Peninsula threat for now until we get through probably the sunset hours, and then these storms are going to start to move into northern and Lower Peninsula. So really after that 9 to 10 o'clock time frame for the Lower Peninsula. So if you're watching the Lower Peninsula, good news is you're good for now. Upper Peninsula, not so much. So if you're in the Upper Peninsula or anybody in the Upper Peninsula, you need to tell them to be on alert for any sort of storm that heads your way today, because all of these thunderstorms do have the chance to be producing 60 to 80 mile per hour winds, hail up to 2 inches in diameter, and of course the potential for a couple tornadoes. Some could be strong in nature, which is kind of unprecedented for the Upper Peninsula, and that's why we need some more kind of urgency out here for some of these storms. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a storm motion vector right now to kind of get us started. It's going to be 260 at 40. For those who are following along with professional software, that is the motion of the storm and the speed of these cells, primarily the severe thunderstorm warning here in the Marquette County region. We also have a couple special marine warnings that have been issued for these cells that are moving through Big Bay at the current time. If you're in Big Bay, some wind moving through, but this is primarily a Lake Superior issue. They do have a special marine warning for 40 knots and large hail for a couple different cells out here in the open waters, 34 knots and small hail for the cell to the north. So these blue boxes, that's basically a severe thunderstorm warning for those cells on the water at the current time. The good news is that it looks like they went into rapid scan mode, so that will help when it comes to quicker scans, especially when these storms could be producing rotation. Very much helpful at the current hour. So we'll keep an eye on all of these storms. They all kind of have their own little cores to them. And I'll be flipping through a bunch of different radar products to kind of figure out what's going on with these cells. I have a bunch of my Upper Peninsula cameras ready to go. I do have a view on this storm specifically. We don't have too many Upper Peninsula cams, but the ones that do have views are pretty good. So I'll go ahead and switch over to our easy station. And there we go. There's our Negaunee camera. This is looking off to the west-ish, right into that severe thunderstorm. And check out those cloud tops out there. We'll go ahead and enable our digital zoom. This is the storm that is down towards the Republic area. That's kind of off to the southwest. But our main storm that we're looking at right now heading in towards issuing area is right here center screen. You can see some of these very impressive cloud tops up there, around 40,000 to 50,000 feet. We'll have to watch over the nearby hill for any sort of base features or some sort of appendages sticking down from the storm that would need to be watched for perhaps downburst potential, and of course wall clouds in regards to rotation. So new warnings coming in. This is going to make sense. It's going to be a lot of warnings coming in at the same time here, probably pretty soon. Next one down is going to be the furthest south storm, which is the one I've been watching since the beginning. And the details on this are as followed. The National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for central Iron County, northwestern Dickinson County, and southeastern Gogebic County until 5:15 p.m. Central Time. At 4:17, a severe thunderstorm was located 10 miles northeast of Phelps, or 13 miles west of Iron River, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Hazards: 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail, as radar indicated. Once again, hail damage to vehicles is expected, and wind damage to roof siding and trees is all possible. Inside of this new severe thunderstorm warning in the orange box are Iron River, Crystal Falls, Stambaugh, Amasa, Channing, Segola, Caspian, Gastra, Alpha, Way Dam, Tamarack Lake, and Hagerman Lake for a protection move to interior on the lowest floor of a building. As a reminder, a tornado watch is in effect until 11 p.m. Central Time. For the counties in the central time zone, it's midnight for Eastern time, which is pretty much the entirety of the Upper Peninsula. So we now have 2 orange boxes going out there. Those orange boxes are your severe thunderstorm warnings. Again, if you know anybody in the Upper Peninsula, feel free to share the stream with them. And actually, something to note here is you can see these strong southerlies on radar here. I know Ryan's in the background. You can probably see these as well. These kind of blue lines you see going from south to north, that is your strong southerly inflow into these storms. If any of these storms can get very close to surface based, I would not be surprised if we get some strong rotation with these cells. And it's already starting to happen with these cells out here. We have a left-right split once again happening. If you guys remember back to our Trinary tornado earlier this year, we had a left-right split with this storm. This is doing the exact same thing in a very favorable environment here just to the north of Foster City, kind of in the Channing area right now. And again, that storm is not technically severe warned. It's for the cell that is back here in the Iron River area. I would imagine they will probably pull the trigger on a warning for this cell soon, which should be heading through northern Dickinson County. So a bunch of different cells to watch up and down the line. It may help to have eyes on all of these storms. Quite the downburst ongoing right now in Champion, north side of town. This is heading towards County Road AAD, and County Road CV, fairly rural portions of Marquette County north of US 41 here. So again, if you are kind of along and north of 41, this is that severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now for 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. Definitely a good signature there for some downburst winds. Same thing on going back here. What we're looking at on radar right now is your velocity. So it's the measurement of winds. When you see these brighter colors, and sometimes you have to switch over to SRV, our storm relative velocity, to see it. When you see these brighter colors on here, these reds changing to yellows and these greens changing to blues, or brighter greens changing to brighter greens, that is when you see your strongest winds occur. And at the current time, it is in multiple different locations up and down this line. And there is what we call a nudger. Again, I'm watching all these cells at the exact same time right now. There's a nudger going on with this storm in the Channing area. And when we see a nudger like that, that is on top of the fact we have strong southerlies into the storm, that could produce tornadogenesis, especially with a right mover at the current time with that cell. So my eyes right now are actually on these 2 cells in northern Dickinson County, the left-right split. for favorable tornado development. I'm actually going to go ahead and look at meso as well to see if that actually lines up. Yeah, that is... Wow, okay. So that is right in a good, favorable environment right now. Ryan, are you there? He's also busy at the current time. I know he has been in meetings all day, so yeah, he's here. So again, if you're just tuning in, we do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing right now. Watching a couple areas of gusty winds of 60 and large hail. We'll take a look at the CC, correlation coefficient radar for hail, and there's a little bit of hail out here on County Road CV, but I think it's more of the wind factor at the current time. Especially for that cell that is going to be heading just to the north. It's going to be close to Marquette. Again, you guys are in that warning box. It's heading straight east, but any sort of wobble, that will bring it to the north. Yeah, we need to be watching this cell very, very closely in the Channing area. That is impressive. It doesn't have the precipitation to back it yet, but you can already see. Take a look at the storm relative velocity here. On radar. You can see, look at the reds and greens very, very close together. Again, that's associated with some very light rain. Once that nudger kind of comes into play here, I would likely imagine we're going to see a warning, probably a tornado warning here very, very shortly. Again, just kind of knowing everything that's at play at the current time. Again, if you're in Channing or northern Dickinson County, this is heading directly your way. Again, if you're also in Iron River, winds of 60 and 1-inch hail heading in. That is the cell that is currently warned. It's not the cell that I'm watching right now. It's a cell back here to the west that is currently crossing US 2, centered on Smoky Lake Road and Old Beechwood Road right now. Also, Christensen Trail. So Mineral Hills, Iron River, Stanball, Caspian, and Gastro. There's 5 different tiny little towns in this vicinity here, all in that severe thunderstorm warning. That's 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. It's about 7 or so minutes away from town. You're already starting to see some of the rain, but the wind is going to be right in the center to back side of that storm. New scan coming in for rotation here in just a second. Also I'm looking at a bunch of different things right now, including back-end operations from the National Weather Service, just to see if there's any sort of wording or concern with the storm in Dickinson County. Right now, though, very intense wind signature showing up right now just to the north of Ishpeming. That is going to be heading again towards the Negaunee and Marquette area. For the most part, it's going to be staying just to the north of town. But again, it's too close for comfort. I'd be taking shelter just out of an abundance of caution. Up to the north, some weird velocities happening there. I don't... that does not match up well with a storm. Let me take a look at the 3D slice, see if that's a new updraft. It is. It's a back building updraft right now. So that is something to watch in the Big Bay region. There's something really impressive going on up above the atmosphere, or up above the ground right now in the Big Bay area. So that is something to watch. We're watching high gusty winds right now out here on North Greenwood Road to the north of Ishpeming by about 3 miles. Taking a look back at velocity, and yeah, that's still there. Northern Dickinson County. Down over to Iron River, wind also still a factor here. Just a lot going on at the current time. Not going to forget about our cells back off to the west as well. Those cells also in a favorable environment at the current time. But the better environment right now is going to be for the couple cells that are currently warned and the line of cells that is not warned in southern Marquette and northern Dickinson. I'm also going to be pulling up maps because, as you can see on radar here, it shows a bunch of towns, but it doesn't do a great job at showing some of our smaller towns out here. So bear with me as I kind of cross-reference between maps and the radar's products. This storm right now, at the current time, flashing on and off radar, this is going to be over the Dead River Storage Basin, Hoyloke Silver Mine, Negaunee Rod and Gun Club. Just looking for other areas out here. It's primarily that Dead River Storage Basin vicinity for this northernmost stell that has these gusty winds at the current time. So, very impressive. Still seeing... Man, what is happening up here? This is quite strange. That cell's going to be doing something as soon as it goes on the water, though. That's something to watch if you're out boating at the current time. But that is in the Big Bay vicinity. We'll go down to the south here. We have that left split with some gusty winds and some hail trying to mix in. There's your hail core right now. Bryan Creek Road. It's Bryan Creek Road heading up towards County Road PRA, P-R-A. And I think that's about all I got for roads out here. Again, very rural portions of southern Marquette and northern Dickinson County at the current time. A lot of hail falling with this cell in particular out in the Vicenzi Road area near Forest Road and Turner Road. Again, that's the right split in northern Dickinson County. And now we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in for Dickinson and Marquette. So that is the cell that is finally getting a warning. Very curious about that cell to the north. That's in a weird spot. Waiting for a new warning to come in, though. See it in just a second. Orange box, please pop up. There we go. So there's your new orange box in the middle now. And we have a tornado warning.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Tornado warning has been issued. All hands on deck, MSC staff, all hands on deck. We're going to go ahead and go to the severe thunderstorm warning first. National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Dickinson and southern Marquette County until 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. At 5:28 Eastern, 4:28 Central, severe thunderstorm is located near Witch Lake or 19 miles southwest of Ishpeming, moving east at 35 miles per hour. This is important. There's ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds with this storm. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include K.I. Sawyer Airport, Gwynn, Witch Lake, Republic, Scandia, McFarland, Anderson Lake, Little Lake, Charles Shend, Silver Lake near Channing, and Big Bass Lake. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Interesting spot for the tornado warning that just came in. They're going for the storm that's in the Iron River area. So we'll go ahead and go to the details for this. I'm going to get a new storm motion vector on this one real quick before I read off the details. 274 at 47. It's probably just because it's so far away from radar, doing it out of abundance of caution. But here's the details on it. National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Iron County and northwestern Dickinson County in south central Upper Michigan until 5:15 Central Daylight Time. At 4:29 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Crystal Falls, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So it is somewhere in this mess of velocity signatures here. There's not that red and green that we usually see when it comes to a strong rotational couplet. However, again, this is in a very favorable environment right now, and it's also far away from the radar. So out of an abundance of caution, because we can't see closer to the ground in the Iron River area, they have issued a tornado warning. Hazards here: tornado and quarter-sized hail. It is radar indicated rotation, so it's the lowest level of tornado warning you can get. It's still a warning. You should be taking shelter now. Lowest floor that you got. A basement or storm shelter is obviously ideal. If you are in a mobile home or outdoors, you need to find the nearest substantial shelter immediately and take shelter now. That is a tornado warning in effect. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. The text here says mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. Timing within the next 2 minutes for Crystal Falls. And it's still you got a little bit more time over there in Crystal Falls. The storm hasn't made it there yet. I would say probably closer to 4:45, but again, you should still be taking shelter if you're anywhere in this tornado warning right now. That's the red box you see on your screen. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Segola, Way Dam, Biwabik State Park, Alpha, Gastra, Caspian, and Mineral Hills. Text reads, take cover now. And again, as a reminder, move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows at all costs. And find the nearest substantial shelter. So again, tornado warning now in effect. And this is just the start of what could be a interesting afternoon here in the Upper Peninsula. I'm going to get a new velocity scan here in just a second. I need some ground truth in the Ishpeming area. What is happening on this?
Joel, just a heads up, that north cell near Big Bay is starting to cook around and get a rotation on that too.
A new tornado
another
warning has
secondary
been
tornado
issued.
warning now being issued now. This is also going to be probably that cell that I've been mentioning out here. Yeah, I was looking at the two cells to the north, Ryan. There's some very weird velocity going on with these cells in Ishpeming and up there near Big Bay. And I was looking at the 3D slice, and a lot of it, what's happening is it's actually happening way above the ground. So very interesting out there with that low-level jet kind of streamlining in. But yeah, new tornado warning coming in at the current time. This is not a great situation if you're in the Upper Peninsula right now. A new tornado warning. You'll see the red box come in. It's going to be Dickinson and I think Marquette. So again, if you know anyone in the Upper Peninsula right now, you need to be letting them know these are some dangerous thunderstorms ongoing. And we'll read off the details on the new tornado warning. That's the most eastern red box that has just come in. The National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a tornado warning for northern Dickinson County and southeastern Marquette County until 6:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 p.m. Central. At 5:33 Eastern, 4:33 Central, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Channing, or 17 miles east of Crystal Falls, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Hazards on this: tornado and quarter-sized hail. Radar indicated rotation. This is a level 1 tornado warning. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over mainly rural areas of northern Dickinson and southern and southeastern Marquette counties, including the following locations of Northland, Anderson Lake, Ralph, Silver Lake near Channing, and Arnold. So we went from 0 to 100 in the matter of 25 minutes here since we've been live. Again, we back it up here to the start of the stream. We had 0 warnings, and then we went severe for Marquette, severe for Iron, severe for southern Marquette, and now 2 tornado warnings in Iron and Dickinson counties, as well as southern Marquette. Again, a lot of rotation out there at the current time, primarily with a storm that is in the Northland area. Again, rural portions of northern Dickinson County. It's one I've been eyeing, but again, these storms down here that do have tornado warnings on them, a little far away from the radar site. And so what's happening at the ground may actually be showing up stronger. We just can't see it because the radar beam is actually overshooting it. So Again, this is a situation that needs to be monitored closely. Again, tornado warnings mean you need to be taking shelter now. There is no delaying. These red box are set in stone. These are the areas that are in a tornado warning, and you should be taking shelter if you are in any one of these polygons. Even the severe thunderstorm warnings right now, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail, and in fact, with the storm that's doing the left split heading straight to the north into the Princeton area, again, heading up towards Palmer, this one is warned for ping pong ball sized hail. So we have to worry about hail and tornadoes out there with these storms. And again, we have multiple cells firing up. We do have the one that is now offshore. Thankfully, that one was really starting to get its act together as it moved into the Big Bay region. So we're thankful that one's heading offshore. But again, if you're out boating on Lake Superior, you need to be on alert. These lines of storms, I will say this now, if you know anyone over towards the Porcupine Mountain State Park area, so Munising, Melstrand, that's Shingleton, that's Autrain, that's Christmas. You have the island offshore there in Munising. These storms are heading your way within the next hour. You should be already booking it back to shore now just because these storms are heading your way. And these are storms you do not want to mess around with at the current time. So again, Alger County, you're not in any warning yet, but these storms are heading your way, and so you need to be preparing accordingly for these storms. We only have one weather camera right now that does have eyes on these storms. I guess you could say two. We do have the Norway Mountain camera as well. We'll start with that one because it is looking into a tornado warned storm at the current time, and it is still hard to see. This is some of the difficulties we're dealing with right now as well with the smoke. This is the tornado warned storm that we're looking at the current time. Here's your zoom. Very hazy out there. Air quality index around 150 in the Upper Peninsula right now. But check out that Excuse me. There we go. Check out that structure though. Very nice looking anvil cloud. Very good sign that this line of storms has blossomed, hit the top of the troposphere, and is spreading out in all directions. And actually, something to keep in mind here, you guys can see these southerlies screaming north. Digital zoom here. Check out these low-level clouds going straight north into the storm. That is your sign that there is decent spin at the low levels of the atmosphere out there. So again, these storms are going to be fueled for a while. And again, the ground, I mean, you can see, look at the trees here, all these southerly winds. That is going to be fuel going into the storm consistently as it goes across the Central Upper Peninsula. So again, this is courtesy of Norway Mountain Ski Resort. Looking to the north from Norway, Michigan, which is down here, looking straight into that tornado warned storm in northern Dickinson County at the current time. Again, this is in the Upper Peninsula. If you're watching from the Lower Peninsula, no concern for the Lower Peninsula at the current time. But if you know anyone in the Upper Peninsula that this information can go and reach out to, you need to be sharing it with them this afternoon. Wow. Check out that rotation offshore north of Marquette. If you are in Marquette right now looking to the north, I would not be shocked if you see a very strong water spout here in just a second. That is insane. That's what I mean by it was building up in the upper levels of the atmosphere and is now coming down to the surface. That red and green right there, that is a very strong rotational couplet. Again, if you're in Marquette, look north. When it's safe to do so, of course. Again, you do have your own severe thunderstorm that is approaching right now, but wow, that is impressive. That is one of the most impressive rotational signatures I've seen in a long time here. Thankfully, not hitting anybody, but again, if you know anyone boating out here, not a good idea to be out there at the current time. That's going to likely be a water spout. But again, that is rotating right now. It's still on land directly over County Road KB at Brown Deer Road right now. Again, that's still kind of right over the shoreline area. So if you know anyone immediately along the lake shore, tell them to jump down to the basement or something at the current time. That is very, very strong rotation up there. But again, we're going to go ahead and go back down to our cells to the south that are currently rotating. Again, the storm right now in the Iron River area is, the center of the rotation is over Stambaugh and Caspian at the current time. Again, not that impressive compared to some of our other signatures. Again, we're not really seeing those bright reds and greens at the current time that we're seeing with some of these other storms. But again, out of an abundance of caution, the National Weather Service Marquette has issued this tornado warning for this cell. Is ingesting other cells to the south at the current time, so that may mess with it a little bit. This storm out here north in northern Dickinson County is a little more unimpeded. And so that is more likely to produce perhaps a tornado. And it is now back out of rapid scan mode. So we're kind of at the mercy of scans every 5 minutes now. That is not ideal for ongoing tornado warnings. We'll take a live look at our Negaunee cam here. We do have that is a little bit of an appendage there on our Negaunee cam. Over here on the right side of the screen. Not really much of interest. I was watching that for a second, but it's not, the storm really isn't rotating as much as its northern counterpart. So, yeah, the storm is also right over the Marquette radar site. So that's not great for them. Need a new velocity scan. There we go. I was waiting for it. Now we got it. Yeah, that's very impressive cell as we switch it back to radar here. Again, very impressive cell up here just to the north of Marquette. A lot of strong rotation on that one. Some gusty winds on the storm heading into Marquette right now. You need to be taking alert to that one. Again, it's over the radar site. I'm not seeing much in the way of wind at the Negaunee cam at the current time, but again, don't let your guard down. Also, large hail, a possibility in the Princeton and Little Lake area with this cell. Down to the south, impressive rotation on the storm heading towards the Northland area. This is the area to look out for. It's the southwest corner where there would be any rotation. That's on County Road 426 at Vicenzi Road, heading towards Steel Road. Again, that's tornado warning number 1. Tornado warning number 2, less impressive rotation, but it is something that needs to be monitored, heading towards Alpha and Crystal Falls. Rotation right now in the Pentoga Trail region, near Crystal Falls to Iron River area. That's going to be a trail and West Chicagoan Lake Road. Cells back to the west do not have any interest on them at the current time, but again, also in a favorable environment, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Tornado warning for Marquette County. I wonder where that one's going to be. Yeah, that's the one right there. That's impressive. Yeah, they finally did issue a tornado warning on that. Um, there we go. So that is actually turning right. So that's going to be heading down closer to Marquette. National Weather Service Marquette has issued a tornado warning for north central Marquette County and north central Upper Michigan until 6:30 p.m. At 5:45, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Little Presque Isle, or 11 miles northwest of Presque Isle, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Tornado and quarter-size hail. Radar indicated rotation is the level 1 tornado warning. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage for roofs, windows, vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. They are going for timing wise, Little Presque Isle around 5:50, Marquette downtown Marquette 6 o'clock, and Presque Isle around 6:05. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Halfway Village and Sugarloaf Mountain. Yeah, Brian, if you're there, feel free to search around for. I know we can't use it on stream, but feel free to search around for a downtown camera.
I already got it.
Okay. So yes, that new tornado warning is for downtown Marquette. That is a very impressive rotational signature, and it's infuriating that we do not have scans more than or smaller than 5 minutes apart. Also, still strong rotation right now. County Road 426. That is our last update as of 43, so 5:43. We should get a new scan here in just a second. New scan coming in. Come on. There we go. There's an updated scan. Yeah, that took a right turn. Holy cow. Yeah, if this continues, it's going to go straight into downtown Marquette. County Road 550 at the current time. Eagles Nest Road and Buckrow Road. That is where this rotation is currently over. There's multiple different pockets there. If it's not rotation, it's still some damaging straight line winds that are moving into the area. So that is something that needs to be monitored. Man, this is where I wish our Nagani cam was a PTZ. Some pretty dark clouds on our Nagani cam. But nothing too impressive. So yeah, so going back to the radar here. We do have a couple tornado. We have 3 tornado warnings now, so we're going to go from one to the other. Number 1 down here on the west side of the storm. This one has become really disorganized. It's going through ingestion phases here, where it's just kind of ingesting these cells. Still some gusty winds possible in the Crystal Falls and Alpha region. Again, a tornado could develop at any time. That's why there's this tornado warning in effect, so you don't want to discount it. But again, from our vantage point here, the rotation is starting to weaken. Good news there. Also, the second tornado warning, which is northern Dickinson County, this still has a decent inflow notch there. However, the latest scan continues to also kind of downtrend it a little bit. It could re-intensify as it heads towards Northland, but at the current time, it looks kind of just there and existing. And again, it is going right on down County Road 426 at the current time. And again, that's about the only main road in the area besides Steel Road. Norway Lake Road. Keep an eye on that. Our main concern right now is downtown Marquette. Some very strong signatures moving into the region. Again, timing on downtown Marquette says 6 o'clock. And again, we're at the mercy of scans every 5 minutes right now, which is not helpful for tracking these storms live. And I'll also show you guys our Negaunee cam right now. It is pretty dark there, but there's not really anything on camera that's worth mentioning. It's just dark. And there's no storm where this camera is pointed. So it's very interesting to me that we're seeing these very dark clouds, but no storm there in the vicinity. The storm that was in Negaunee is now in downtown Marquette. Also, I will mention this. The storm that is in Marquette right now is not the tornado warned storm. So going back to the radar, this storm that was severe thunderstorm warned came across from the west to the east. And so that storm right now in Trowbridge Park in downtown Marquette may be producing some pretty large hail and some downpour winds. But again, up to the north is your main cell. So right here, if I circle on a radar, there you go. This main cell here, County Road 550. That is the storm that will be hidden kind of behind this first cell that is currently impacting downtown Marquette. So Marquette, the storm that is in downtown right now, would not likely have a tornado. We're going to be watching it, though, in case it decides to do something funky. But at the current time, it's mainly the strong rotation offshore, or kind of riding along the shoreline, heading southeast in towards downtown Marquette. New scan coming in here in just a second. As a reminder, if you are inside one of these warning polygons, you need to be taking shelter now, no matter what. Again, these storms have the potential to produce tornadoes, large hail today, and of course, damaging winds. At the current time, tornado warning is in effect for Crystal Falls Alpha. That's number 1. Number 2 just got trimmed a little bit to the east. It looks like it is trying to cycle just a tad. We'll have to see what the next scan brings. Good news with the rotation up to the north looks, I mean, it's still there. It's very obvious that this could do anything at any time. Might be trying to interact now with the storm to the south, and so it's a little bit of a dirty inflow is what we call it, where it's kind of getting choked off by the storm to the south. So not as clean of an inflow notch to the storm anymore. But again, don't count your chickens before they hatch. A tornado warning remains in effect here for north central Marquette County until 6:30 p.m. Also down to the south, tornado warning remains in effect until 6:15 Eastern, 5:15 Central for northeastern Dickinson and southeastern Marquette. Also over here to the southwest, tornado warning remains in effect for southeastern Iron and northwestern Dickinson until 5:15 Central Time. All of these storms capable of producing a tornado at any time. Again, warning means that the conditions have come together and a tornado may be developing at any moment. Tornado watch means conditions are on the table throughout the event for tornadoes to develop. Doesn't mean they're happening now. Warning means take shelter now. And the best way to remember it, I usually use the taco analogy where, taco watch means the ingredients are on the table. Taco warning means the ingredients have come together and tacos are being devoured. I think it was Caleb that originally came up with it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, where tornado watch is your parents using your first name. Tornado warning is your parents using your first, middle, and last name. So again, tornado warning, very serious, first, middle, and last name. There's 3 of them right now in the Upper Peninsula. Strongest rotation right now with the storm heading down towards downtown Marquette. Again, that is going to be heading towards Northern Michigan University, Sugarloaf Avenue, Trowbridge Park, and the Ore Docks there in town. The rotation right now, we're looking for where there's the strongest or the brightest reds and greens, and where they kind of make a holding hands motion on radar here is where we would see our rotation be the strongest. That was very evident back here when it was right before it got tornado warned. in the last couple scans now, it has kind of broadened out, but the strong wind is definitely still on the table, regardless of whether or not it's rotating. So severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning remain in effect for Marquette for at least the next 15 to 30 minutes. Also down to the south, our left split storm that was warned here in the Princeton area has now kind of congealed with a storm in Marquette. That again producing 1 to 1.5 inch diameter hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Right split is the one that is tornado warned as it heads towards the Northland area. Large hail also possible with this storm. Right now they just have 1 inch hail listed on here, but again, that is both a hazard. We also see tornado warning be trimmed. Iron River, you are now in the clear, as well as all of the surrounding areas such as Mineral Hills, Caspian, Stamball, and Gastra. This storm is trying to cycle a little bit. You can see a little bit of the reds and greens starting to increase now on the south side of that storm as it rolls right on down the Wisconsin-Michigan state line. That's on the Menominee River. And if that continues more southeast, that's going to be heading straight for Iron Mountain, Kingsford, Quinnipiac, and eventually our camera in Norway. Speaking of Norway, let's take a look at our Norway camera. And again, it's really far away from the storm. So Norway on radar is right here. We're looking to the north. And it is a little difficult to tell what's happening out there with the haze, the wildfire smoke obviously being a factor. We can also start to see on the left side of the screen over here, that is off to the west. That is the second tornado warned storm that would be heading towards our camera here in Norway within the next hour or two. If it continues to dive southeast, that is. But again, our main cell that is tornado warned out in front is somewhere over this batch of trees out there. We just can't see it because of this wildfire smoke. So again, thank you to Norway Mountain Ski Resort for sponsoring a couple weather cameras there on top of their mountain. Great views for Aurora and great views for our severe weather day here in the Upper Peninsula. Again, current time at the bottom of your screen, 5:59, about to be 6 o'clock. I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Futzma here, live at Michigan Storm Chasers with ongoing severe weather coverage. Here's our latest scan coming in, and those winds are impressive. Especially offshore, but again, the Peter White Drive vicinity, Middle Island Point, and Partridge Bay, all along and north of Big Bay Road. Again, very, very close to downtown. Regardless of whether or not this is a tornado, obviously there's some very, very high velocities here. So these winds, even if they're not tornadic, are spinning around like a tornado. This is still going to be perhaps 60-mile-per-hour winds, very north side of downtown Marquette. Wow, this is impressive. Again, we're going to have congealing storms here. We'll have to see how these two storms interact. On days like today, you have your strong southerlies, and it makes things so difficult in terms of storm motion, where suddenly they're heading straight east, and all of a sudden, boom, they head up to the north, or boom, they head to the south. And so it all depends on what currents are kind of steering these storms. And at the current time, the storm furthest to the north is going southeast. The storm in Marquette is going straight east. And the storm that came into the storm in Marquette was going northeast. So we have 3 storms, 3, congealing on the east side of Marquette, kind of over the bay, heading into the Dearton area. And we'll have to see how they kind of interact with each other. But that could be one large cell coming together here over the next 10 minutes. Also, the lightning barrage with this is very incredible as well. So again, if you are out boating right now, not a good idea to do so. And also, if you're downstream, offshore of Autrain, Munising, and anywhere along the Porcupine Mountain State Park, we have tornadic supercells heading your way. You are not in any warning yet, but you need to be thinking about turning around, heading to shore. If you are, for whatever reason, going out in a kayak right now, about to do a 5-mile tour out to Pictured Rocks, I know the reception out there is bad. I've been there myself. If at all you're able to hear this right now, you should not be going out. You should not be starting your trip into Pictured Rocks right now just because these storms are heading your way. Again, it takes 4 to 5 hours depending on what trail you do as well, or if you're out on the boat, if you're kayaking around Pictured Rocks, that's basically a half-day adventure. So again, if you know anybody out there that's doing that this afternoon or this evening, again, it is 6 o'clock, I should say. So I guess not many people are starting their trips, but if you know anyone that is on their way back, tell them to maybe hurry it up because it is heading their way.
Joel, those 2 southern cells are catching my eye again with increased velocity on both of those.
Yep. Yeah, I was gonna go to that as soon as I was done doing my rant about the storm to the north. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll go down to the south. Northland, you definitely want to be in your shelter. That tornado warning still remains in effect here for another 12 minutes for Northland and rural portions of southern Marquette counties. That's that red box you see on your screen. That storm that Ryan was just mentioning as well, the southwesternmost tornado warning. The storm itself, the center of rotation is actually outside of the tornado warning box, and it's actually rolling right down the river. But it has undergone a cycle and a little bit of southeastward propagation. A new tornado, or not tornado, new severe thunderstorm warning for Florence County in Wisconsin, and a new severe thunderstorm warning for Dickinson County. We'll go ahead and read that off right now, as the storm is now taking more of a southeast track. The National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Iron and southwestern Dickinson County until 6 p.m. Central. At 5 p.m. Central, a severe thunderstorm was located near Whisker Lake. Whisker Lake Wilderness, or 7 miles south of Crystal Falls, moving east at 25 miles per hour. Hazard 6 mile per wind gust, quarter-size hail. This radar indicated locations in this new severe thunderstorm warning include Iron Mountain, Crystal Falls, Kingsford, Felch, Niagara, Aurora, Alpha, Quinnipiac, Granite Bluff, Stager, PV Falls Dam, and Randville. As a reminder, tornado watch is in effect. And that storm is definitely getting its act together once again as it heads towards Florence, Wisconsin, and Spread Eagle, Wisconsin. Again, that would be heading right on down this Wisconsin-Michigan border, and it's at the junction of two different National Weather Service offices. So the National Weather Service in Green Bay is in charge of Florence County, Wisconsin, as well as Marinette County, Wisconsin. And so I'm sure they're probably in communications right now with Marquette on what they want to do in terms of this storm that is riding right down the border. But you'll likely see if a tornado warning gets issued, it'll be divided into two as it rides right down the river.
Joel, we have a viewer report out of the Marquette cell that is reporting $quarter to $half size hail. I got pictures to confirm it.
Okay. With ruler or coin or something?
Nope, unfortunately, no.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys have hail reports, please send those in with some sort of measurement, some common sort of instrument next to it, please. That is appreciated. Again, everyone has different hand sizes. Wow. Again, I continue to be blown away by this very, very strong rotational couplet. They do have water spout possible, obviously, now on that special marine warning if you're out there voting, but nobody should be on those waters. And there's your new special marine warning for the waters in the blue box here. National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a special marine warning for Huron Islands to Marquette, Lake Superior east of a line from Manitou Island to Marquette, and west of a line from Grand Marais to the U.S.-Canadian border, beyond 5 nautical miles from shore. Lake Superior west from a line from Manitou Island to Marquette, beyond 5 nautical miles from shore. Marquette to Munising, Munising to Grand Marais until 7 p.m. At 6:02, severe thunderstorms capable of producing water spouts were located along a line extending from Granite Island to near Presque Isle, moving east at 30 knots. Hazards, water spouts and wind gusts to 50 knots and large hail. This includes Shot Point, Shelter Bay, Grand Island, Autrain Island, Miners Castle, Laughing Whitefish Point, Granite Island, Presque Isle, and Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. Yeah, this is going to be an all-timer radar signature here in just a moment when these cells really start to kind of congeal. They're already congealing. You can kind of see it here on camera. I know it's kind of in the middle of the storm, but again, there's probably a really impressive water spout ongoing with this cell right now offshore. I have not seen anything like this, like that, or I've not seen anything like that in a long time. But we are very thankful that it is not on land at the current time. If you're in Marquette, you're going to be shrouded in rain. If you look to the northeast of downtown Marquette into that cell, again, there's all of this red in front of it. It's kind of like a big old rain curtain. It is a big old rain curtain. It's hiding this couplet in there, but that is impressive. We'll go ahead and go back south. New couplet or new scan has come in for the Northland cell. The rotation is still there. However, the tornado warning has expired. Both tornado warnings have expired for the Crystal Falls and the Northland cell. So we're now just on one tornado warning. And that's the cell that is currently offshore from Marquette. And the rotation along the river is still definitely there in the Florence area. But at the current time, they're going severe thunderstorm warning. Still want to be taking shelter if you're inside of that orange box. 310 at 22. Yeah, that is that's again right outside of downtown Marquette. If you're in Marquette, you're still technically in that tornado warning. I would be still taking shelter because again, we have 3 storms kind of congealing right now in Marquette vicinity, and funky things can happen even outside of this main area of circulation that we're looking at. So definitely still want to be taking shelter. This tornado warning remains in effect here in downtown Marquette till 6:30 Eastern. Strongest rotation, of course, offshore where these reds and greens are very close together. However, again, there's still a lot of weird velocities happening close to downtown Marquette. I do not feel comfortable giving you guys the all clear yet, especially since you guys are still in that tornado warning. Any reports from the Marquette weather camera? Probably not.
None at this time. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm getting my PC set up now, so I'll be ready to go here.
You're all good. Oh, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in. I'm going to take a screenshot of this for the archives, actually. Just to kind of have it. So new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. That is a storm that was previously tornado warned. It may try to ramp up here again. We'll read off the details. National Weather Service Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for east central Dickinson, northwestern Delta, northeastern Menominee, and south central Marquette counties until 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. At 6:08 Eastern, 5:08 Central, a severe thunderstorm was located near Watson, or 26 miles northwest of Escanaba, moving east at 45 miles per hour. They're going ping pong ball size hail. And the wind is not a concern for this storm, according to the text. Locations impacted by this new severe thunderstorm warning include Watson, Rock, Cornell, Northland, St. Nicholas, Perkins, and Arnold. As a reminder, tornado watch remains in effect till midnight Eastern. Yeah, still a very impressive cell here. It's got a very large, elongated updraft here in the Northland area. Still definitely in a very favorable environment for tornadic development. At the current time, though, they're going with probabilities of large hail, ping pong ball size, which is 1.5 inches in diameter. It actually says, Ryan, on here, max wind gust 1 knot, which is weird. It's probably higher than that. But yeah, check out the correlation coefficient on that. That is incredible. All of that yellow and green in there that you see inside the storm on the right side of the screen, that's in the correlation coefficient radar. That is all jagged precipitation in the atmosphere tumbling around. So that is a very large core of hail right now in County Road 426 and County Road 557, all around the Northland area. If you're in Northland, feel free to toss us some hail reports when it's safe to do so. The storm is still rotating very weakly, so I would say wait until the storm passes. But again, if you guys have hail reports, please send those our way. Michigan Storm Chasers here on Facebook. Please send it in one of our other comment section or on Messenger. Again, we also have a Discord server, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. Rotation for the Florence cell is weaker now, heading towards Spread Eagle. Iron Mountain and Kingsford would be up next, as mentioned on the Michigan side of things, and that is still heading towards our Norway Mountain camera. So we'll have a view on that cell as it moves in. Unfortunately, we do not have any cameras in Menominee or Delta County, and so we're kind of relying on you guys to let us know what you guys are seeing at the ground. And of course, what we're watching here on radar this afternoon. To the north, new rotational couplet. That actually might be showing up on the downtown Marquette cam, Ryan. New rotational couplet right now just offshore. If you are in downtown Marquette and you look to your east, there is a rotational couplet that has just popped up. I kid you not, it's probably right over the ore docks right now. I'm watching a weather camera in downtown Marquette at the current time. I don't even know if this is the right Marquette.
A lot of the Marquette cameras right now are offline, just FYI.
Oh, that's the right Marquette. I'm watching some very low. I'm looking at the WZMQ19 Studios camera, Ryan, in downtown Marquette. I'm not sure if that's the one you're watching.
I had that pulled up for a short time, but then got rid of it pretty quick.
Yeah, there's some low-level scud that's getting it's zooming. I'm assuming I'm looking west here, and it's zooming into this rotational couplet that would be just off screen. So again, if you are in Marquette looking east, you're likely seeing some sort of couplet trying to form over the waters just to the north of Harvey. And that will need to be watched because that's going to be tracking right along M28 towards Deerton and Autrain eventually over towards the Munising area. Oh yeah, that is undoubtedly likely a a water spout ongoing right now, right outside of downtown Marquette.
Viewer sent me a camera of, I'll send it to you, Joe, actually.
Okay.
If my phone will work. It's frozen currently.
Yeah, rotation to the north has kind of weakened a little bit offshore, but the main concern right now is this, as I said, these congealing cells. There's 3 of them congealing at the same time. There's all these different areas of rotation, which is why I literally said this right, 5-10 minutes ago. Again, you're in that tornado warning in downtown Marquette. Obviously, the main concern is the wind up here, but you still have all of these cells that are kind of coming in at the same time in downtown Marquette. And so that's why it's still want to be in shelter in downtown Marquette because, again, we just had water spout. We have 2 rotational couplets right now heading right along M28 here just outside of Harvey. And these are actually trying to spin down towards the shoreline. So M28 between Harvey and Deerton, be on alert for water spouts moving onshore. Again, water spouts moving onshore heading towards the extreme northeast corner of Marquette County. If you know anyone traveling M28 between Deerton and Harvey, you need to tell them to be taking shelter now. Again, severe thunderstorm warning has just come in as well. I'll read off the details on this. National Weather Service Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for east central Marquette, in north central Upper Michigan, west central Schoolcraft County, and southwestern Alger County and north central Upper Michigan until 7:15. At 6:12, a severe thunderstorm was located near Shot Point or near Marquette, moving east at 35. Hazards, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and $50 hail. Radar indicated. Locations impacted include Marquette, Munising, Grand Island, Miners Castle, Chapel Lake, Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, Autrain, Chatham, Shot Point, Deer Inn, Shingleton, and Harvey for protection moved to interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Once again, 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1.25-inch hail. Again, there's also what is likely ongoing water spouts, I would imagine, right outside of downtown Marquette. Again, if there's anyone in Marquette, it's safe to do so looking east. There's likely 1 or 2 water spouts in the vicinity. And now, again, there's a lot of rain that's also shrouding this, but again, 2 water spouts likely ongoing here. They issued a new mesoscale discussion. They did. 3 minutes ago, concerning the ongoing tornado watch. Severe threat for tornado watch 501 continues. The threat for a few tornadoes appears to be increasing across the discussion area over the past hour. Several discrete supercells have developed over the western and upper peninsula of Michigan. Yeah, very backed near surface winds resulting relatively strong and low level and deep layer shear with 0 to 1 and 0 to 6 kilometers shear. Very high. Supercells maturing near the eastern edge of the greater instability near Marquette within the zone of enhanced vertical shear. Yep, that makes sense. Also, a lot of other meteorological mumbo jumbo that I won't say on here, but again, this threat continues across the region. Likely ongoing water spouts here. Wow, we actually have a phenomenon called Fujiwara about to happen, Ryan. That's incredible.
What's what that is?
Hold that thought. Rotation also increasing now, or trying to, in the Northland cell. A lot of hail falling here. There's a 3.5-inch hail marker in Northland. I kid you not. Probability of severe hail maxed out. That, I'm surprised, is not considerable or higher, but that is a very impressive storm. That is right where these currents of vorticity are moving through at the current time. Yeah, going back to the storm up to the north, we see something. We see this all the time, and you guys have also probably mentioned it in chat a couple times, or asked the question, can hurricanes rotate around each other? Can tornadoes rotate around each other? The answer is yes, and that is the process of Fujiwara. And so right now what we're showing you guys on radar is the rotation radar. So yeah, it's 2 different couplets that are very close together, and what they're going to do is they're going to spin around each other, and sometimes they can combine into one couplet. It hasn't happened yet, but you can kind of see how the motion on this, the reds and greens, very close together like that, they're starting to spin into each other. And so again, that's the process of Fujiwara.
Joel, don't be shocked if you get another tornado warning for that cell heading toward Gladstone eventually in southern Marquette County. That's increased velocity there greatly, as well as a ginormous hail core on that.
Yeah, that cell in
I'm a little
area.
surprised that there's not a considerable severe on that, honestly. That hail core is insane.
It's a little messy right now, but that is some very, that is a, I'm going to do a 3D scan on this for the cell heading into the rock area just to see. That hail core is
Very impressed.
up to about 40,000 feet. The center updraft is up at 60,000, I believe. Let me double check on our Echo Tops doesn't show it as much, but on the 3D scan, you can see the clouds get all the way up to around 60,000 feet. So that's a very impressive cell there. So all of that pink and yep, there we go. New tornado warning.
A
I
new
saw that
tornado warning
pop
has
in
been
behind the
issued.
scenes. This is going to be for the storm that we're watching right now in the Northland area.
New one coming in.
New one coming in as well. 2 tornado warnings coming in.
A new tornado
back-to-back
warning has been issued.
So we'll go ahead and read the details off as they come in. We're going to go ahead and go to the south one first. The north one is still just a tad bit offshore. The south one, very, very impressive signature at the current time, heading towards the Rock area. But the Marquette tornado warning is set to expire in 7 minutes. The threat for Marquette is pretty much done at this point, but again, new tornado warning coming in downstream from there. Also, this very impressive cell with, again, the GR2 software depicts everything that's happening in the atmosphere and spits out a number based on what it's seeing in the atmosphere tumbling around. And while it may not be translating to the surface, in the center of this core, there could be upwards of 3-inch hail tumbling around. Again, it has to, drop down, and sometimes as it drops down, it breaks apart. But again, some very large hail likely ongoing in the Northland area. If you're in Northland and surrounding areas, that is quite impressive. There we go. There's our new scan. Yeah, rotation is
very strong.
Very
strong
strong.
signature on that.
Yeah,
on that north one cell too.
North one, yeah. We're gonna go south first, and then we're gonna go back to the north. We'll go south. South tornado warning. Here we go. National Weather Service Marquette issued a tornado warning for east central Dickinson, northwestern Delta, northeastern Menominee, and south central Marquette until 7 Eastern, 6 Central. This is butting all the way up to the Gladstone area, so they expect this to be a concern for a while. 6:16 Eastern, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Watson, or 27 miles northwest of Escanaba. Wow. Moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. Radar indicated rotation. Dangerous storm will be near Watson around 6:20. Well, it's already then. It'd already be there then. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Northland, Cornell, Brampton, St. Nicholas, Perkins, and Arnold. Take cover now. Move to a basement interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Again, this is a very impressive signature right now on that storm. Again, the large hail also a concern. They have. Okay.
The hail size on that says penny size hail. That doesn't seem right.
I don't know about that. I would imagine it's a lot larger than that. I think their concern though right now is, of course, the rotation, so they're focusing more on that. Also, they have their focus on this tornado warning up to the north, which has Fuji Ward. It literally did the thing I just said. It Fuji Ward into one big rotational couplet. So 2 water spouts became
and that
one.
That rotational couplet has a VROT over 100 miles per hour gate to gate on that. That is a very, very strong, likely water spout occurring, and it is heading right onto shore here. It's going to hit Shot Place Road at M28, County Road BAA. It's going to follow very closely along M28 here in the very far northeastern part of Marquette County, moving up in toward the Oneida area and Rock River areas eventually. Those out ahead of this along M28 in northeast Marquette and northwest, does Delta or no? What county is this? Alger. Northwest Alger counties should be very alert for this. This is likely a very strong water spout about to become a tornado. In fact, new scan just came in. It increased even further. Gate to gate is at 120 miles per hour now as it moves. It's basically one scan away from being on land here. This is likely about to be our first likely tornado that's on the ground here as it moves onto land. This is still over water, but it's moving very, very close, about 1.5 miles offshore right now. M28 is going to come onshore around Shot Place Road, just north of M28 along County Road BAA. Again, this is very far northeast Marquette County, likely going to have a tornado on the ground here over land shortly.
Yeah, again, details on that new tornado warning. It's east central Marquette and west central Alger County till 7 p.m. Again, 6:21, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located offshore near Harvey, also near Marquette. We may see actually multiple couplets here, Ryan. I can see a new couplet trying to form.
Yeah. Trying to pass off to the south there.
Yeah.
We may see an extension of that warning as well to the south toward like Chatham, Limestone, and Scandia areas.
So again, tornado ping pong ball size hail nest. So again, hail's a threat and tornadoes are a threat here across the Harvey and Dearton areas. In this tornado warning, we have shot point around 625 and Dearton around 640. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Forest Lake and Shot Point, and it's very close to heading towards the Autrain area in Christmas. And again, it's just outside of Munising. If you are at Pictured Rocks right now, you need to be going to shore now. That is basically a demand, I would say, especially given that the fact this is a very strong rotational couplet moving in.
That hook on that Dickinson County, Marquette, Delta County is just insanity. They just trimmed that warning back, actually.
I think I did reach out to Marquette to ask them about that tornado warning's hail size. I wonder if they're fixing it.
They did not update it. New scan just came in for me on reflectivity, waiting for velocity.
We're also still watching the storm heading in the Iron Mountain region. Not strong rotation at the current time, but still severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Iron Mountain, Kingsford. That is in effect through. Hold on. Top of the hour, 7 o'clock.
New scan continues the rotation, really two areas, but the main one still, it's pretty much measuring this. It's literally about a quarter mile away from land at that Shot Place Road.
This is going to do a handoff, Ryan.
I'm probably doing the same. I'm thinking the same thing here.
Yeah, it's going to hand off to the south.
That's going to put you guys downstream here. It's a couple roads ahead of this. Toivia's Trail or Toivo's Trail, Peter White Road, Laughing Whitefish River Road. Looking at a few other areas here, I'm trying to get a good read on it. A lot of these are just two-track trails that don't really have much populated center, which is good, but makes it hard to call stuff out here. Another one downstream here looks like Sandstrom Road. Next population center for the handoff is going to be Chatham and Rock River areas near Autrain.
Yeah, so what's happening again? This is a classic handoff. We've seen it. It's actually happened multiple times already with this line of cells. We had the first one to the north, just offshore to the Marquette, and then we had the combining of the cells here in the Marquette vicinity, and then it translated down to the Fujiwara effect that occurred near Harvey. And now has split, if we take a look here, has split a new cell down to the south towards south of Dearton. So while you're watching the storm moving on shore, you have to watch out here south of town because they have a new area of reds and greens trying to come close together. And it gets right close to downtown Dearton. So please, if you're in Dearton right now, you need to be taking shelter. You might have tornadoes on either side of you here at any moment. Correlation coefficient debris tracker does not show any debris being lofted, so that's good. But again, that could change at any moment. Also down to the south, a lot of reds and greens trying to mix in this hook vicinity here on County Road SI at County Road 426 and County Road SAE. County Road SK is also involved here. Again, many more roads in this area at the current time. But again, if you're in this vicinity, you need to be taking shelter. And this is going to be translating off to the southeast, eventually towards the Perkins area. Again, very impressive cells out here this afternoon. or these cells down in the Iron Mountain region, there's 2 of them, and they're also going to try and merge together as well. So we'll keep an eye on those as they continue off to the southeast. But at the current time, we have 2 cells that we're watching, very strong rotational couplets. There's our newest scan coming in. And
I got something to share with you. Probably see on your side too, but that little area just to your south there, south of Princeton, is starting to try to tighten up there with the. It looks like it's trying to ingest a shower there. It's trying to tighten as it does so. Just south of Gwyn.
this one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That hook though, heading in toward the Oneida area is incredible.
I do not have that town on my map.
Go north cell. North cell. Check out the reflectivity on the north cell. You'll see it.
Dearton?
Yeah.
Yeah. Handoff. Classic handoff. Again, this is now making landfall at the current time. The main circulation up here to the north on Shot Point Drive. That's Shot Point Drive at M28. Also County Road BAA, right at the county line.
Hey, Joel.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have a video of a water spout off the Marquette. So there you go.
Okay.
There's a video we were tagging. Also, Norway Northwest Cam appears to have either a wall cloud or it looks like a wall cloud on camera there. I can have my screen shared here just a second. In fact, I think it already is. Yeah, you're good to take it.
Northwest.
It's coming into view here.
Yeah.
Coming into view here.
And that's a storm that's not even tornado warning. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll have to see if that's more defined as it comes into camera. But that there's a little bit of weak rotation there, just to the north of Iron Mountain at the current time. It did go rapid scan. Thankful for that. So I didn't really get a definitive answer from MQT, but the severe thunderstorm warning for the Rock Perkins area does have ping pong ball size hail, but the tornado warning has less than penny size hail, so it's conflicting reports there. Regardless, the main concern right now is going to be a possible tornado. We have a new scan coming in here in just a second. That is going to be very close to County Road Shopping Mall. All right, County Road Shopping Mall. Very curious to see what these multiple couplets are doing up here to the north of Dearton. I'm going to check that one first and then go south. Yep, handoff. So handoff to Dearton. No debris yet. Strong, but no debris. Just south of Dearton, about 3/4 mile south of town on Burning Road. Burning Road there at Peter White Road. Again, here's Dearton. You can see it on radar. You can see the individual roads. This is also right on an unnamed road. All right. Segan Road. Also, again, Peter White. So that little vicinity just south of Dearton on the very southern edge of that tornado warning box at the current time. So a lot of convergence of wind fields at the current time, and it continues to ingest more cells in the area and trying to pull it southeast towards Autrain and Munising. So that will be a concern for the Munising area here within the next half hour. Again, severe thunderstorm warning already in effect for Munising and the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. Again, if you are at Pictured Rocks right now, if you know anyone that's camping at Pictured Rocks, again, subsurdity structure is going to be your friend, if possible. Again, if you're out hiking the Pictured Rocks, again, this is, not a great time to be out there hiking. You need to be taking it and booking it to shelter as soon as possible. Again, booking it, I do not use that lightly. Again, it takes hours sometimes to hike the Pictured Rocks. So that's just a casual stroll. If you can jog and make it back soon, that would be ideal because, again, these storms are heading your way. At the current time, these storms are still off to the west in the Dearton area. That's the main tornado warning that we're watching at the current time. Secondary tornado warning down here, just the southwest of Rock. Also strong rotation ongoing. Nothing that has really tightened up yet, but it's still a very, very impressive supercell on radar. And this is continuing off to the southeast. This is going to be, if it continues its current track, heading towards the north end of Gladstone and Perkins with time. If you're in Gladstone and Escanaba right now, and you're hearing sirens for whatever reason, you're not technically in the warning. However, it is, as you can see here, the polygon is right outside your doorstep. So it's close enough to say, hey, we see the storms coming our way. We probably should be ready to be taking our weather-ready plan. Again, it's a friendly reminder on days like today where you do have tornadic supercells. It's always good to have a plan in place, a sturdy structure to go to. So when a warning is issued, you can go there. So right now, 2 tornado warnings in effect. One Marquette and Elger, and the other down here for portions of Delta, Southern Marquette, and extreme northern Menominee counties. So 3 different counties involved here. Update coming in for our tornado warning in the Brumpton area. Hail size still less than pennies. So that rotation has continued to increase here at the current time. It actually kind of looks like it's an RFD surge, so that could be more of damaging winds. Still, wind is wind, whether it's rotating or straight line wind. You do not want to be in the line of fire for this line of storms. And of course, the large hail is also a factor here. Also, as Ryan was mentioning, the Princeton cell has continued to try to develop a hook as well. And we'll be continuing to watch that one. Up to the north, Deerton. Still a bunch of different vortices up here. Heading towards the Awe Train area. I'm going to take a look at Mezzo here real quick.
Joel, while you do that, I have a view on that Norway cam. The rotation on that Norway cell did increase further. It also looks like it's trying to get more organized here as a wall cloud.
Oh, yeah.
Very classic structure here. Wall clouds are kind of narrow and kind of thinner like this. Perfect example right here, but also slants toward the rain, which is on the right side there. Very classic wall cloud here. It's likely rotating as well. On radar, this rotation is increasing too. So we're gonna have a great look at this for about probably 10 or 15 minutes at least as the storm passes in front of the camera. I got this camera facing northwest. I also got it facing north and northeast as well. So we're gonna watch this thing travel right in front of the camera for a while. So if it does produce, we're gonna see it right here.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that, Ryan. If you see anything suspicious, we go back to the radar. Again, we have a bunch of different vortices up here. It's like 3 of them in a row. Segan Road and Peter White Road, all the way down here towards County Highway 339. It's just a lot of reds and greens kind of mixing together here. A lot of convergence of winds trying, I guess, cycle right now, I guess is what we would say. But don't be surprised if we see another uptick here in the next scan or two as it heads towards the Awe Train area. And here's that storm that we're watching on Norway. It's kind of embedded within that line, Ryan. Not in the most ideal spot for rotation, but nevertheless, the atmosphere is primed for things to just be rotating and spinning like a top today. So again, even if it is embedded in the center of that storm, still impressive nonetheless. Yeah, this is quite the backside surge in this tornadic supercell here in the rock area. That tail that you see on camera here continues to surge down to the southeast at a rapid pace. The rotation is broad. It's very parallel right now. It's a lot of reds and greens, bright reds and greens ongoing, but there's not anywhere where these reds and greens are trying to hold hands and couple together. Again, it's strong rotation, but it's also broad rotation. So you still want to be taking shelter. These are strong winds likely ongoing in the vicinity here of Boney Falls H Road. And again, tornado warning means conditions are favorable for tornado to develop at any time. That same rule goes into effect here for Deerton and Awe Train, where this tornado warning remains in effect for another 18 more minutes. New severe thunderstorm warning coming in for the Norway cell, which Ryan continues to watch there with a wall cloud on it. Yeah, Ryan, if you want to send it over to the Marquette, I guess they would probably appreciate that. Um, we'll go off.
Hey,
Go
what?
ahead, just send that wall cloud their way, maybe. If they're not watching the stream, of course, which I don't know if they are. So go ahead and read the details off on this. National Weather Service Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Dickinson County and northwestern Menominee County till 6:30 Central. At 5:41, severe thunderstorms are located over Iron Mountain, moving east at 10 miles per hour. Ping pong ball sized hail is a possibility. It is radar indicated. People and animals outdoors will be injured. Expect damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Locations in this severe thunderstorm warning include Iron Mountain, Kingsford, Norway, Niagara, Aurora, Waseda. I probably mispronounced that. Quinnipiac, Loretto, Vulcan, Merriman, and Cunard. For protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Tornado watch remains in effect. Once again, that is 1.5-inch diameter hail and wind gusts under 50 for that supercell. New scan coming here in just a second. Still tornado and ping pong ball sized hail here. 6:40 p.m. severe thunderstorm capable producing a tornado is located over Shot Point, 14 miles east of Marquette, moving east at 20. Deer in right now is your arrival time. Forest Lake and Shot Point, obviously, in this tornado warning. The reds and greens still definitely there. Watch out for brief spin ups all up and down this line inside of that red box. If you're in that red tornado warning box, you should be taking shelter until this storm passes. In tornado warning, it means the conditions are favorable for tornadoes to happen at any moment in time within the next couple minutes. Tornado watch, on the other hand, is, well, the conditions are there throughout the day today, but they're just maybe not happening yet. So it's just kind of a general, hey, watch out. Warning means, yeah, it's very close to happening. So keep that in mind when you're just doing the distinction between a watch and a warning. Again, the main concern right now is, I would say, probably the cell heading towards the Gladstone area, but it is a little messy at the current time. And as it gets closer to northern Lake Michigan, you're going to start dealing with a little bit of the micro scale features that come into play that could either help or hurt tornadic development. You're going to get these weird shifting of winds, other sources of instability. In some cases, you get cold stable air that kind of comes in and funnels it off. So we'll have to see as it gets really close or just to the north of Escanaba and Gladstone. You get those southerly winds coming off of Lake Michigan. It's going to be kind of tough to maybe sustain it. But again, the environment, regardless, whether or not you have stable air flowing in, very impressive for rotating thunderstorms today. These storms that we continue to watch off to the west, also sitting in a favorable environment, but you got to think about this. These storms are going through an area where it's already been kind of overworked with cells earlier. Again, it's still a very impressive environment, but there's still atmospheric recovery going on right now back here, and so these cells are struggling at the current time, which is good news for areas that have already been hit today.
Check out the latest velocity scan on the northern cell just southwest of Onata. It appears, in my opinion, to try to be tightening up on the latest scan, so I have to watch that closely.
You said where?
West of Autrain, the north cell.
Onata, Rock River?
Yeah.
West of Autrain. Yeah, it's still trying to do the handoff thing, I think. Which makes sense considering this has been a theme literally all day. Oh yeah. Scan kind of increases a little bit there. It's just heading towards an unnamed road. U.S. Forest Service Road 2276. see. Can I get any other road names out here? There's really not anything. Onata Hill Lane. Yeah, it's an unnamed road. Yeah, U.S. Forest Service Road 2293, just 408. So that is this road through the area. And that's where this rotation is heading. Again, if it continues its current track, this will be heading straight towards downtown Alltrain. After that, if it continues to move off to the east, southeast, it would be heading straight for downtown Christmas, Munising, and Wetmore. Unless, of course, we continue to see it hand off further and further southeast towards the Chatham area. Again, Chatham, you're not technically in either warning, but it's a little too close for comfort right now, in my opinion, so I would definitely be taking shelter if you are there. Trinary, you guys are good for now, but watch out for the cell off to your west. That is a cell that has a little hook to it as well. Current time, though, your main concern is still off to the south there from Trinary in the Perkins area, where some large hail is likely ongoing. You can see it based on the correlation coefficient radar. Anytime you see these violets changing into these oranges and yellows, that is your non-uniform meteorological objects hovering around the atmosphere. That's your hail. Hail's jagged. Your rain is more circular in nature, so it'll show up as these pinks on correlation coefficient. On velocity radar, we're looking for the reds and greens close together, and we do still see a lot of red and green close together. That is rotation, where they kind of make a hand grasping kind of motion. That is where we would see the rotation becoming tighter. At the current time, what I am seeing here is this kind of RFD surge is continuing to kind of push down to the southeast, straight towards the Gladstone area. And that is making it difficult for the storm to rotate. When one of this part of the storm is heading one way and everything else is kind of like, hey, where are you going? It's, usually that helps, but in this case, it is kind of just hurting it right now. Again, some very strong winds moving in towards I Road and N River Lane. But yeah, tornado warning out of abundance of caution. Anytime those reds and greens are close together like that, you still want to be playing it safe, because again, those can all of a sudden be going the same direction, and then all of a sudden they just curl into each other. So abundance of caution, tornado warning remains in effect. 10 more minutes on that. Top of the hour, it expires here for the Perkins, just outside of Gladstone and Kipling area. Wall cloud on our Norway cam. Oh, Ryan took it off the Norway cam.
Both Norway cams are offline.
For now. Hopefully they can come back. But they are offline on my side too. That was still a very impressive walk out there. Hopefully they didn't get like struck by lightning or something. That's also a possibility there at the Norway cam. Is it trying now finally? Is the reds and greens trying to tighten up? A little bit of micro scale funkiness going on there, just outside of Perkins and I Road, perhaps. That reds and green is a little bit more of a hand hooking feature. Keep an eye on that. Reds and greens also still close together here in the U.S. Forest Service Road 2276 area. And again, that's continuing to head towards the Alltrain region. Yeah, the main hook right now, if you look at reflectivity radar, is the Deerton cell. However, there is a cell in Chatham right now that is blocking its inflow, so it is preventing it from really trying to ramp up here. So good news on that. At the current time, though, it is still dangerous out there in the Alltrain and Deerton area. I'd still be staying in shelter. Wait till that red box does pop off the screen, the orange box pop off the screen. And again, besides all of this hail and all of this rotation in the line of storms, you do have a lightning factor out there today as well, with how much instability we have. And so that is something that we need to watch. Yeah, I mean, going back to the storm to the south, it looks like it's getting a little bit of a nudger now, Ryan, or cycling of some sort near Perkins. It went from parallel to kind of into itself. Up next on that rotation will be County Road 434 and 27.5 Road. Also near North 15 Lane within the next 2 to 3 minutes as it continues to go off to the southeast. Again, all of these cells you see on camera here are supercells. We did get our Norway cam back.
Unfortunately, did not. I think they got knocked offline by
I have
power outages.
I have one of them. Oh, I have both of them back.
Let me refresh on mine then.
It's glitching.
Yeah, I can't load anything on my end.
It has frozen my software. It did load back in. There is still a wall cloud there. Trying to get the eastward facing cam loaded.
They might be on Starlink up there, so when you have tall thunderstorms, it may interrupt the
Yeah.
connection a little bit. I know a lot of storm chasers who have Starlink have that issue, so it might be a similar issue. Also, for point of reference, on our MSC radar software, the storm risk.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
The probability of severe on the MSC storm risk on the newest tornado warning coming in there is 89%. That's the highest I've ever seen it.
Makes sense.
New warning coming in for ping pong ball size hail, as well as a tornado warning for Delta County. It includes Gladstone, Brampton, Rapid River, and Ensign.
And Norway's back offline. Yeah, there's your new red box. The official details do read Central Delta County till 7:45 at 6:53. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Was located 8 miles south of Rock or 14 miles north of Escanaba, moving east at 35. As you mentioned, Ryan, tornado ping pong ball size hail with radar indicator rotation being the source. Level 1 tornado warning. Gladstone Rapid River around 7:05. That's the arrival time there. Also in this tornado warning, we do have Maplewood, Brampton, St. Nicholas, Ensign, and Perkins. As a reminder, take cover now, move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows if at all possible, and if you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. As a tornado warning, the banana belt, I guess as some people call it up here in the Escanaba area, is not holding strong with this storm. So again, no banana belt today. This is a dangerous thunderstorm that is approaching you guys. You should be taking shelter if you are in, especially in the Gladstone area at the current time where the new tornado warning has popped in this red box. It is definitely trying to put something down. Do not like the look of that.
Fairly gusty at Norway as well. I have the northwest cam back, but I cannot get the north cam to load.
Yeah, it's probably, like you said, Starlink then. Also, new rotational couplets to the north. There's 2 of them. Once again, it reminds me of the movie Twister. You have these different couplets that just keep popping up out of nowhere and just rotating around each other. Here in the Deer into Autrain area, just to the north of Chatham, waiting for a new scan. At the current time, though, I have not seen anything that has touched down on the ground, but that doesn't mean it has happened. So if you do have tornadic damage that you believe has occurred in your neighborhood, feel free to send that over. We'll toss it over to the National Weather Service Marquette so they go survey it. That goes for any storm that has occurred out here today. It was tornado warned or severe thunderstorm warned. It's been a lot of cells, and so anytime you guys have damage you want to send in, if you do have it, please do so. We'll get that over to the National Weather Service Marquette so they can send a survey team out to perhaps rate the damage that has come in. Do have hail on the Norway cam.
It also is pretty gusty too. Looks like the Norway North is back too for me. I'm trying to load that in.
That has a new rotational couplet, by the way, on the southwest side of Norway. Just a heads up there. Starting to get its look to it. Rotation still fairly strong, just outside of Perkins, about 1.25 miles south of Perkins. That is approaching 28th lane and the intersection of 27.5 and North 15. This is also the M35 corridor south out of Perkins down to Gladstone. So that is, if there is a tornado that we're likely to be on the ground, that would be where it's at right now. Again, rotation is there, but it's not the most impressive that we've seen. It's also, I don't know if it's quite outrunning its favorable environment yet. It is sitting in a favorable environment at the current time.
Path north came to load, nothing of note on it.
If you guys are just tuning in, feel free to, been watching for a while now, feel free to hit that like button and the share button. Again, you don't know who could be helping out there as the stream gets bumped into the algorithm of your fellow Michiganders, or especially this time of the year here across the peninsula, a lot of tourists out there.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And this is a new tornado warning coming in for an area with a lot of tourists. So again, hitting that like and share button, huge help for anyone that may be up here in this area. Elger County getting a new tornado warning now as the rotation continues across the area. National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Elger County until 7:45 p.m. At 6:57 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Dearton, or 16 miles west of Munising, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and ping pong ball-sized hail. It's radar indicated. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. Timing-wise, all train within the next 5 minutes in Munising around 7:25. We also have Forest Lake and Wetmore, as well as Christmas, inside of this new tornado warning. Once again, tornado warnings in effect. Elger County for the next 45 minutes, expiring at 7:45. That is to replace the tornado warning that is now currently expiring here at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock, and there it goes. So one tornado warning leaves, the other one comes through. And Ryan, we have a confirmed considerable hail report that came in from the Trinary area at, okay, just 3 miles south of Trinary. It's not in a spot where that, okay, where's Rapid River? And why is that? It doesn't seem like it's, huh. 2.75 inch diameter hail report in Trinary at 5 minutes prior to 7. Unless that was from earlier today. But there's been no cells out there. Weird. Not going to doubt it, though. There's some very impressive updrafts of that one. Currently on the screen, we have 2 tornado warnings, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. These are the only warnings in the state at the current time. All active alerts are scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen. If you miss them, you can see them scrolling down there at the bottom. We also have the highest active alert showing, which is a tornado warning at the current time. There's 2 of them. The tornado warning for the Rock area has expired. The one continues for Perkins, Gladstone, to Rapid River, and kind of heading towards the Nama area. Again, very strong thunderstorm, also ping pong ball sized hail occurring out there at the current time. Velocity, there is a new couplet trying just to the west of Munising, just outside of Christmas. again, those reds and greens trying to pick back up there. So if you're in Munising Christmas, again, the tornado warning has occurred. You now need to be taking shelter at the current time if you are here in Alger County. Again, if you're out at Pictured Rocks, like obviously you saw the inclement weather incoming. You should be in shelter by now, hopefully. Again, very dangerous storms moving through at the current time. To the south, again, big hail and a messy velocity signature at the current time. Can't really pick out one spot, but if I had to, it would be the Perkins area. Yes. That would be it right there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a little couplet that might have just crossed, or did just cross M35 here at Tower 29.5 Road. No debris, but if there were to be a tornado that just occurred, it would have been right here just near the Perkins area. So if you know anyone that lives out here in M28 near Tower 29.5 Road and 29 Lane, you can see the reds and greens very, very close together here for 4 different scans. Here's your latest scan now. At 30th Lane, heading up towards the vicinity of R Road and Perkins 30.5 Road. That is the spot, if anything, where some rotation would perhaps produce a tornado. Again, if you're tuning in from the Lower Peninsula, there is no concern for the Lower Peninsula at the current time. We are not going to be looking at the Lower Peninsula until these storms are heading down that way. That will be later tonight. We also have these cells right now, which will eventually congeal into a line, as was currently expected, as it moves to the east, southeast, southeast, eventually towards northwest lower, continue overnight across the northern portions of the Lower Peninsula, and eventually, we'll have to see how long it stays together. It's very conditional, but it could last all the way into the Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, and down towards the Detroit area later tonight. And again, that timing map is out on our page. Was posted around 3 p.m. this afternoon, so feel free to go check out our post on Instagram, Facebook, or X at the username Michigan Storm Chasers. At the current time, though, I have not seen anything in terms of debris being lofted in our correlation coefficient, unless it was one scan there, one scan gone, which is possible. That could have been something right there, Ryan. Going back a little bit. Let's take a look at our other products. That would be right there. Spectrum width, ZDR, correlation coefficient, and storm relative velocity all line up for a perhaps brief spin up there on I Road, just to the south of St. Nicholas 31st Road. One scan. So again, if you're in the Perkins area, I'd just be mindful of perhaps some damage in your area that might be tornadic in nature. Again, if you have any damage to send our way, feel free to do so with time and location. Latest scan came in, a lot of reds and greens still in the Rapid River area. Still want to be taking shelter if you're in Rapid River. County Road 186, the current time at cell 1 to the south. Cell 2 up here still on Perkins 30.5 Road. 2 different distinct rotational couplets shrouded in rain. That's another thing to keep in mind here. There's a lot of heavy rain ongoing out there. PWAT value is pretty high this afternoon. And so you may not see these tornadoes ongoing. We even saw it with that water spout video, which is now up on our page. It was fairly shrouded in rain. You could still see it, but a lot of rain out there is making it difficult to see these storms coming. So do not wait to see the tornado. Take shelter now if you're in any one of these tornado warnings. Going back up to the Munising cell, yeah, that is definitely still an area of concern right now on Duluth, South Shore Atlantic Rail Trail at Ridge Road. So on the bike trail out there at Ridge Road and the rail trail, County Highway 566 and Ridge Road again. Ridge Road again. It's like a broken record. Ridge Road, Ridge Road, Ridge Road. That is heading right for downtown Marquette.
Joel,
Go ahead.
I just got a video from a viewer. The water spout did come on shore.
That would be near the Harvey area, I would imagine, the other water spout.
Correct.
Okay. Got it. So that could be a tornadic waterspout. Then that would be our 24th tornado of the year if that does get confirmed. And yeah, that goes in. That would be, yeah, Marquette. That would be up to them. Surveying, of course, will be a tomorrow thing. Right now, they're still worried about active operations. So the water spout video, Ryan, that you posted earlier, that was in downtown Marquette, or was that the Harvey area?
That was the Harvey area.
Okay, so it's the same one. Got it. Okay. New scan coming here just a second. This is going to be crucial for all of these cells at the current time. And rotation continues broadly in the Rapid River area. It's a little messy. Stronger in the Munising area, heading towards Wetmore. Still on the rail trail at Ridge Road. It's moving kind of slow, but it's good. You get more time to prepare. If you're now just tuning in the Munising, Wetmore, Christmas area, don't wait to see it. You need to be underground right now. Again, this rotation is right outside of all of your cities. As I just mentioned, you're about 2 miles to the south of Christmas, 2 miles to the west of Munising, 2 miles to 3 miles west of Wetmore at the current time. And there's a lot of converging wind fields ongoing in here. You can actually see if I loop this all the way back, you have multiple cells coming into this vicinity that could sprout out different areas of rotation at different intervals, all anywhere inside of this line of storms right now. As we do have a new cell popping up here along State Highway M94 in the Chatham area, and that could be a nudger that pushes more rotation together here from Chatham over to Munising, but that is neither here nor there yet. You can actually see if I fast forward this, how the rotation has translated all the way back from the Marquette area. So it went from there, down to there, down to there. So it's kind of been the same storm. It just keeps, it's like the game of telephone. You keep passing the rotation off to the next cell southeast, next cell southeast. And it's gotten to the point now where this is all the way onshore into the central portions of Alger County. As a reminder, this storm started as 3 cells that came together in the Marquette area. Number 1, that pushed it southeast originally, it started all the way up here in Big Bay. Most of the storms prior to the Big Bay storm were heading off to the east or up to the northeast with a left split. This storm came down from the northwest heading southeast and has pushed this rotation now along and down south into the Munising area. Rotation is still very strong at the current time on that rail trail at Ridge Road. And I'm still waiting for another update. It's just kind of actually, there is your update. It's still sitting there on the rail trail at Ridge Road. If you are at a campground, I guess there's photos in Discord, Ryan, of the waterspout as well. I keep seeing that in chat here. So if you guys are just tuning in, we have tornado warnings in effect for portions of Delta counties and portions of Alger counties in the Upper Peninsula, Central Upper Peninsula. Alger County in effect for 33 more minutes. The storm in Delta County in effect for 33 more minutes as well. We also have a broad area of wind in the Norway vicinity heading over towards Hermansville. We'll probably see a new severe thunderstorm warning coming in very soon as the storm is now kind of outrunning its severe thunderstorm warning box polygon. That is ping pong ball sized hail possible with this storm as it continues on down County Highway 338 and, generally speaking, US 2 towards the Powers area. So from Powers, be prepared for some large hail very soon. That does have the look to it as well. It has that classic backward C shape, southwest corner. You have the hook on it. That could be our next big thing here in portions of central Menominee County, especially as these storms kind of get pinched off as they head into portions of the eastern Upper Peninsula towards Schoolcraft County. But the current time, there's still a lot of different converging winds out there, and so we're not quite out of the woods yet for these tornado warnings that are currently in effect for Alger and Delta counties. If you're at a campground, as a reminder, if you're in a tent, try to find like a bathhouse or something that's structurally sound, or an office, or just anywhere that is underground if possible. Is going to be better than staying in your tent. Car is going to be better than a tent. Obviously, again, tents can fly away, and again, they're not much protection compared to a vehicle at the current time. But again, latest scan for this rotation in the Munising area continues that rotation now just to the east of Ridge Road, still on the bike trail. As it heads down, we have another road name here, County Highway 576. This is about a mile now in between Christmas and Munising. You need to be taking shelter if you're. I'm gonna up my wording on this. If you are not in shelter yet in downtown Munising, you need to be taking shelter because this is upticking a little bit in the latest couple of scans. So downtown Munising, please be taking shelter. I don't know if they have any weather cameras there in Munising, but that would be probably something that would be monitored as well.
I'll take a peek here in a second.
I'll also take a look as well. A flash flood warning also coming in Alger County. They do. They have multiple. Yeah. They have a couple Nest cameras there in Munising. Downtown Munising looking west. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be looking right at it. It's going to, and Munising is kind of down in a bowl too. So, yeah, this is heading right into downtown Munising. If you are listening from Munising right now, there's people out driving in this. You need to be taking shelter in a near substantial structure. This rotation is now less than a mile from downtown. It's just over the hill and also shrouded in rain. I'm looking at this live, so and kind of give you guys an idea of what's happening here, Mark, in Munising area. This rotation that is embedded within the rain. There's haze, there's lack of precipitation, lack of visibility due to the precipitation. And again, it's going to be over a hill, so you won't see it coming over the hill until it's really too late. And we might have just lost power in Munising.
What cameras are you on, Joel?
ExploreMunising.com. We did just.
It's still working for me.
I lost the west cam. Rotation stronger now near Hermansville, by the way.
I still have mine.
Okay. Yeah, I just have to reload then. Okay, yeah, I'll just reload. Hermansville, you need to be on alert. This is a rotational couplet getting stronger. We did mention it. It has that look to it. It is now getting stronger. Hermansville powers. You don't have a new warning yet, but I imagine you will soon. Severe thunderstorm warning has been canceled up here to the north. Tornado warning remains in effect. Tornado warning has been trimmed. Gladstone, you are good there. Rotation rather weak, but tornado warning remains in effect for another 29 minutes here, just to the north and east of Rapid River on US 2. Still will be watching it. Still kind of has that shape to it, but it is kind of dealing with some micro scale features here in the northern Lake Michigan vicinity. Again, some stable air probably coming in. Also a couple showers trying to choke off its inflow. So good news there for those who are worrying about this storm. Still tornado warning. You still want to be taking shelter in case something quickly spins up. But our attention right now is currently on a very strong rotational couplet in the Munising area. And yeah, that is going to be close. I have Wetmore at M28 as well.
Yeah, I got that one pulled up too.
That's going to be.
Trying to find where Wetmore is at.
Wetmore is just. It's about a half mile south of Munising. There's a gas station.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Elder Schoolcraft coming in here in just a second. That's going to be an extension from that tornado warned storm. Oh, it's at Superior Land, so it's right in downtown Wetmore. National Weather Service Marquette has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Schoolcraft in central Alger County till 8:15. At 7:15, severe thunderstorm was located over Munising, moving southeast at 35. Wind gusts of 60 and quarter-size hail possible. Locations impacted include Munising, Miners Castle, Grand Island, Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, Shingleton, M28 between Shingleton and Seney, M94 between Steuben and Manistee, Christmas, Wetmore, Melstrand, and Van Meer. For protection, moved to interior room in the lowest floor building that is extended out a ways. Also, that rotation is getting very close to touching down just outside of Hermansville. If you're in Hermansville, please be taking shelter. You're not even in any warning at all. Well, unless no, that you guys are in a new warning. It just hasn't popped in yet. That was the second one that popped in, but new warning coming in for Hermansville and Powers in just a second. Waiting for that box to pop in. There we go.
Joel, we have a new MD coming in.
Okay.
Watch likely for portions of northwest lower Michigan.
Okay.
%80 chance of a watch issuance, tornado, hail, and wind. So likely some type of watch coming basically north of Cadillac and west of Alpena.
Got it. Assuming you got that for the page.
Yep, I got it.
Okay. New severe thunderstorm warning coming in. We'll read this off. Severe thunderstorm warning for central Menominee County and south central upper Michigan until 7 p.m. 6:16. Oh, this is in central time, by the way. 7 p.m. central. 6:16 central. Severe thunderstorm was located near Hermansville, or 18 miles southeast of Iron Mountain. Movement is off to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. We got $half-sized hail possible. Locations in this new severe thunderstorm warning include Powers, Hermansville, Wilson, Spalding, Nadaw, Faithhorn, Kearney, and Cunard. I don't even know how it's pronounced, honestly. We do have just the hail, so 1.25 inches in diameter. They're not going with a wind risk, and I'm surprised they don't have a tornado possible tag on that, despite the fact that it is some pretty decent rotation. And they haven't added it to any of their severe thunderstorm warnings today so far that I've noticed. They don't even have it on this new severe thunderstorm warning that is out in front of Munising. This rotation continues to shift a little bit now down to, it's getting pulled actually. It was heading for downtown and now it's getting pulled immediately to the southeast. So it's like a invisible force kind of just pushed it right down to the south. It is very close to Wetmore. We still do have our cam in Wetmore at the current time, but it is very dark there. Again, when we say this cam, again, these are cams that MSC does not have control over. It's not sponsored through MSC, and so we can't use them for the stream, but it is very dark right now on a camera that we're looking in downtown Wetmore. And if anything does happen, it will pass in front of this Wetmore cam. If you are in Wetmore right now or Munising, you still should be in shelter. This is very strong rotation. Very, very close to Wetmore, about a half mile to the west of town. Correlation coefficient does not have anything lofted in terms of debris. But again, still too close for comfort. Reds and greens there close on radar. Please be taking shelter immediately if you are in Wetmore and Munising and really anywhere in that red tornado warning box at the current time. We still have more cells trying to pop up here to the west, and that is why there's also a flash flood warning now in effect for Deerton over to Munising. Did we lose it?
Yeah, mine's frozen. Nope, no, it didn't. It's still going.
I'm in full screen. There we go.
Just watch the flag. It's still blowing around.
Wind shift. There you go. There's your wind shift.
Yeah. Yep.
Strong winds now, Wetmore. Again, if you're in Wetmore and you're listening, you need to be taking shelter. Winds are blowing to the southwest in Wetmore, so that does line up with that inflow notch. So, yeah, green on radar is wind heading towards the radar site. So it's moving, well, I don't know if that's opposite, but it's heading towards the Marquette radar, which is located to the west. Anything in red is wind heading away. And again, where they meet like that is where your rotation is the strongest. The scan is now a quarter mile from downtown Wetmore, but a little bit more broad. Tornado warning also dropped for Delta County. That has been expired early. Meanwhile, to the south, rotation continues to increase a little bit more for the Hermansville and Powers area. This is directly right now on North 1 Road at 38 Mile Road, heading off now towards Eckberg Road L5 and West LaBelle Road 38 and Coleman Road 37.
Rotation on that from the Green Bay radar is even more impressive than the Marquette.
I think Marquette might be just barely closer.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. So that is a lot of reds and greens close together right now in the Hermansville and Powers area. Still watching the rotation as it is now basically in downtown Wetmore. We'll wait for a new scan here in just a second. Also, ping pong ball size hail as another hazard that is a possibility today. 289 now at 25 knots for the northern cell. It's weakening a little bit. It's good news because it's heading right into Wetmore. Yes, this is the same kind of pocket rotation that has existed all the way back from the Marquette area. If I go ahead and back it up, you can kind of follow it back.
There you
A
go.
new tornado warning has been issued.
See, that goes all the way back. National Weather Service Marquette confirms water spout 3 miles northeast of Harvey. Source public. Multiple videos showed water spout off South Beach in Marquette. So new tornado warning coming in. All the way down here in the southernmost counties of the Upper Peninsula. And that was well needed considering the reds and greens on radar there. Wind also increasing on our Wetmore cam. We'll go ahead and read off the details for this new tornado warning. National Weather Service in Marquette has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Delta and central Menominee counties until 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:15 p.m. Central Time. At 7:23 Eastern, 6:23 Central, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Hermansville, or 23 miles southeast of Iron Mountain. Moving on this off to the southeast at 25 miles per hour. Hazard is tornado. Radar indicated rotation. Dangerous storm near Powers around 6:30 Central Time. Other locations in this tornado warning include Gorley, Spalding, Faith, Horn, Nadeau, Wilson, Kearney, and Kernard. Again, take shelter now. Move to the nearest substantial structure you've got. Stay away from windows. So again, that's a new red box you see on your screen. About to be crossing over US 41 here momentarily. And your safety means everything to us. So please, lowest floor of the building, if you're anywhere in the side of this red box, please be taking shelter now.
The MSC storm risk on that has the tornado probability at 57%.
Yeah, that makes sense considering what we're seeing here in VROT. Rotation now a little bit weaker in Wetmore. Flag has settled down a little bit too. Rain is definitely coming down in Wetmore, but that rotation, it is dealing with other cells around it right now, so it's kind of be going through that cycling phase, and it's a good thing too because again, this was heading right for Marquette, and then it took a sudden shift to the south, was heading towards Wetmore, and is now pretty much starting to fizzle out as it is now over downtown Wetmore here at M28 and M94. I believe that is M94 as well up here. Yeah, M94. But the tornado warning has officially been canceled, actually. I think it was supposed to be in effect till 7:30, I believe, and it dropped it a couple minutes early. Severe thunderstorm warning, though, remains in effect for the cell heading off towards the Schoolcraft County area. That's in effect for another 48 minutes for 1-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. It's coming in a little bit more messier, but with time tonight, we're going to see this line kind of congeal together and produce a damaging wind risk. So that is what we're kind of dealing with at the current time. Going back to our rotation now in the powers area. Get a new scan in just a second. We don't have any of our own weather cameras in the area, but looking around. Don't see anything. That scan here does have that rotation still consistent on Cloman Road 37 at Elkberg Road L5, or Eckberg Road L5. As a reminder, again, the hail is also a possibility with this storm, but again, it's under penny size according to text from the National Weather Service. Has a classic, very, very classic hook shape on the back end of that storm. So that is a classic supercell that is continuing to impress across the area. Wow, Norway's got some fast-moving clouds overhead. Just noticed that. We just have one tornado warning in effect right now, by the way. And that is currently up here in Menominee County. It's also the only tornado warning in the United States at the current time, as they have now trimmed it back just a tad. Ryan?
What?
They have upgraded the tornado warning to baseball-sized hail of 2.75 inches in diameter. That is the largest hail we've seen in a text today.
That's also destructive criteria.
Correct. So if there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now, it would be a severe D. So the highest level of severe thunderstorm warning you can get. So this is a destructive thunderstorm now. It would be a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, but we have a tornado warning in place that kind of supersedes it. And so again, if it's not the tornado you have to watch out for, it's the very, very large hail between Powers and Bark River at the current time. Take a look at correlation coefficient. There is a lot of yellows and oranges inside of this storm. Take a look off the Green Bay radar for the first time here on stream. There's a third body scatter spike, so that does tell me that there is a decent hail core in there. VIL, oh yeah. That'll really centerize it there between Powers and Kearney. Very impressive. Supercell composite right now, right where that supercell is at, is a 20. Oops. File that one under screenshots for later, eh? It's very impressive. I'm looking at the photograph right now. Very impressive photograph. I would not be surprised. This could be our significant one of the day if it continues to strengthen. If you are downstream, I'm going to go over to our maps here because there's probably some smaller towns out in front of this storm.
I have Gurley, and that's about it.
Gorley, yeah. Or Gurley. Escanaba River State Forest, Hannahville, O.B. Fuller County Park, Escanaba River State Forest again, and Fox, north of Cedar River. That could be our long track tornado. Supercell composite right now, again, is a 20. That's fairly high. I'm going to look at some of our other composites out there. 5 for STP. 13 for VTP, Ryan.
Are you serious?
13. I'll put it in G chat. It is a very impressive storm. Go ahead, Ryan.
MSC storm risk 62% chance of a tornado with the storm. It's crazy.
Yeah.
92% chance overall that it's severe.
Yeah, that's a nasty looking hook.
It is.
That is not a good sign right there. Let's go back up to the Marquette radar because I think the Marquette is just a little bit closer. I'm curious. The cell, 4,700 feet from Marquette. Green Bay is, it's Marquette's way closer. Marquette's 4,700. Green Bay is 7,000. So we'll use Marquette here for a little bit until it gets perhaps closer to the Bay. Upper level rotation on that, very impressive. I'm gonna go ahead and take a 3D scan. This is nuts. Yeah, 53,000 on the storm height. Hail core up to about 38,000 feet. And we're going to go ahead and storm motion vector this one. 297 at 21 knots for those who have advanced software like us here at MSC. Again, this is heading off to the southeast. Tornado warning in effect here. This is, again, going to be portions of southwestern Delta and east central Menominee counties until 8:15 Eastern, 7:15 Central. Tornado and baseball-sized hail are possible with this storm. Delta Schoolcraft. Believe that's going to be this cell here heading towards Manistee. Also still have this warning in effect for the Munising Wetmore area. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail. The concern of tornadoes now has dwindled ever since that last rotation in the Wetmore area. Still some gusts of wind. We'll keep an eye on that one, but we do have new scan. And yeah, it's not seeing much here in the NEMA area. Where is our severe thunderstorm warning box?
Manistee.
That's what I thought. Wasn't entirely sure. There we go. I was waiting for it. National Weather Service Marquette has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for east central Delta and southern Schoolcraft counties until 8:30 p.m. Eastern at 7:33. Severe thunderstorm was located over Garden Corners, or 15 miles west of Manistee, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Impact, hail-damaged vehicles is expected. Wind damaged roofs and trees also possible. Manistee, NEMA, Garden Corners, Isabella, Thompson, Gulliver, Point All Bark. That's definitely pronounced something differently. I remember that from last time. Indian Lake State Park, NEMA Junction, and Cooks. Also have the reminder tornado watches in effect through midnight Eastern time here in the Upper Peninsula. Yeah, if you guys are... the main concern right now, obviously, you do have your severe thunderstorm warnings up here to the north. I actually just canceled the one that was briefly in effect for the storm here in Elger and northern Schoolcraft. That has been canceled. Still some strong thunderstorms in the area with some weaker winds. Our focus will now shift to the south, where they are now trimming the tornado warning yet again. Special marine warning also in effect now. They're going with winds of 50 knots, large hail, and water spouts, all possible So if you're on the waters here from Cedar River up to Escanaba in that blue box, if you're out boating in there, you need to be not boating out there and taking shelter, as this is a very strong supercell passing to the south of Bark River and Escanaba. Again, this is a supercell. We don't see this often here in the state of Michigan, and right now the environment out there, again, I was mentioning all these STPs and VTP parameters that we're looking at behind the scenes. Some of our surface vorticity also very intense out here at the current time. Yeah, these are numbers you don't often see in Michigan, so you should be taking these storms very seriously. We don't use this tone too often unless we're absolutely certain this is a concern, and this is a concern for the Cedar River and Fox area in far southern portions of Delta County. That's that far southwestern corner out there on 7 Mile Marsh Road. You're probably seeing some of this large hail, perhaps upwards around baseball size. Also, County Road 551 and Robinson Road 553 near number 36 Road, and local lane number 35, as well as DePass Lane number 34.75. Those are some weird names. But if you know you live there, that is some very large hail likely falling.
Yeah, Joe.
GR2 software also denoting 2.87 inch. Go ahead.
Check out Chat B.
That's, yeah, wow. That's a very large hailstone. Holy crap. That's unfortunate. Would still pass that over to the National Weather Service in Marquette.
Already complete.
Gosh, if only there's a way to reach out to that person.
I'm gonna try to. Unfortunately, no. Does not allow me to message.
Dang.
Pictures of vehicles damaged, windshields broken from that same area coming in too.
Gotcha.
Crazy.
That's I mean, just eyeballing that, for those who are curious, we have an image of a very large hailstone behind the scene. I mean, just eyeballing that, Ryan, I would say that's probably close to 3. State record for hailstone, by the way, is I believe 4.75 inches in diameter, so it's beatable. But this is why we always say, again, measure your hailstones with a ruler or a coin or some sort of common item that can easily be referenced, because again, some of these hailstones right now that you guys have been sending in are impressive, but everyone's hands are different sizes. We have a hailstone report coming in from Rock, Michigan. That's literally the width of someone's entire wrist. Most wrists are 2 to 3 inches in width, so very impressive. But again, we don't know for sure unless we have a ruler there. So again, please, if you do have hail reports, very, 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 very much encourage you guys to do some sort of ruler or coin next to it so we can kind of eyeball it. Rotation still fairly intense right now in Burke Road number 34 at Town Line Road G1, the vicinity of number 34.5 Road, and County Road 557. That is out here in rural portions of Menominee County. That is also in the Hannahville and Gorley area not showing up on radar, but those are, it's actually directly over Gorley. Which, if I zoom into Gorley, it is a farm and maybe 3 houses or 4 houses. Interesting.
I too, Joel, am crashing out.
Yeah. all these photos of hail coming in. No one has a coin on them to measure with. I understand everything is digital nowadays, but come on. We can't just guesstimate to the National Weather Service office, unfortunately. I mean, we can try, but usually they ask us to submit the reports with a coin or ruler or some sort of common equipment next to it. But where was that one from? The latest ones you just shared in chat there, Ryan.
Same person.
Gotcha. Rock, Michigan.
Yes. Also, want to take note that there are now storms developing in Wisconsin. Those are going to be a potential risk later on tonight for western lower Michigan if those develop and push across Lake Michigan probably after around midnight or so, around that time frame.
Can already start to see it trying to come together.
Yeah. If we're lucky, we might get a break here in a minute. These storms are about to go on the water here, and then at that point, we're just kind of waiting for storms to the west.
Yeah, you're gonna jinx it though, because there'll be some warning up here in the eastern Upper Peninsula, I'm sure.
Probably at some point. But one can hope.
Yeah.
Cross
watching,
fingers.
Yeah, still watching this very impressive supercell right now. Again, it's very close. It's very close to going through its process of tornado genesis. It's just sitting there menacingly and kind of just throwing baseball-sized hail everywhere at the current time without putting down a tornado, which is good. But that rotation there is very concerning for County Road 557 at Burke Road number 34. And this is right in the Gorley neighborhood, south of Hannahville. Hannahville is likely getting more of the hail at the current time. So that leaves us with, I don't know why that severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect for the Powers and Kearney area. That's still in effect for 15 minutes, but there's no cell inside of that. Also, Ryan, I don't know if the Norway cam's up, but we do have another supercell popping up north of Norway with a tail on it.
Let me go ahead and get it back in here.
Yep. I just noticed that. Before we get back to those storms, severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Manistee area. This is going to be East Central Delta, Schoolcraft County, till 8:30. Once again, it's going to be 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail down here. This is along the Lake Michigan shoreline. If you are in the Manistee area and surrounding areas in the orange polygon, respect the polygon. Make sure you're sheltering in an interior room. Make sure that no hail can get lofted through the windows, shatter your glass, or you're in the way of the shattered glass. Again, hail's going to do what it's going to do. Trees are going to fall wherever they're going to fall, but you are your own individual. You should be taking shelter if you know you're in one of these polygons that is on the screen. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Schoolcraft and portions of Delta. Also down here to the south, very southwest corner of Delta and Menominee counties. It's going to be east central Menominee. This tornado warning in effect for another 28 more minutes as the rotation is still quite strong as it moves towards 7 Mile Marsh Road.
I do have the Norway cam pulled up. It does appear structurally elevated at this point.
That's good. It's also passing through a somewhat stable air mass that was put down by these lead storms, so probably struggling. Although a little bit. There's not much. I mean, the atmosphere looks still pretty primed. Where all of these cells are popping up in Wisconsin, and that second line, it's popping in towards Norway. So light capping inversion, minus 25 out there right now. That'll continue to fill in as we go towards the overnight hours. So that'll push us to more linear mode. We're probably in our, I would say, last 30 to 60 minutes here of a tornado risk for tonight, primarily speaking within supercells. We could still see our
A new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued.
our spin-ups throughout the remainder of the night. And here comes a new severe thunderstorm watch for the lower peninsula. This looks like it's going to be northern lower.
20 counties. It appears.
Yep. National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has issued Weather Watch 505, I believe this is. Yep, Weather Watch 505. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect till 2 a.m. for the following counties. In Michigan: Antrim, Benzie, Charlevoix, Sheboygan, Clare, Crawford, Emmett, Grand Traverse, Kalkaska, Lake, Leelanau, Mackinac, Manistee, Mason, Missaukee, Montmorency, Osceola, Otsego, Presque Isle, and Wexford counties, once again until 2 a.m. Probabilities: chance of 2 or more tornadoes low at 20%. Probabilities of one or more strong tornadoes of EF2 or greater, less than 2%. This is in the severe thunderstorm watch. Wind, probability of 10 or more severe wind events, 40%. Probability of 1 or more wind events at 75 miles per hour or greater, low at 20%. Hail, probability of 10 or more severe hail events, moderate, 30%. Probability of 1 or more hailstones 2 inches or greater, moderate at 30%. Overall combined severe hail and wind probabilities where there are 10 or more severe hail events, high at 70%. So primarily for wind and hail. What is the max?
2-inch hail and 70 mile per hour winds.
And a couple tornadoes possible. Luce and Chippewa counties are going to get bypassed. They did not get a tornado watch, and they did not get a severe thunderstorm watch. But there are still storms heading your way. Thank you guys for the nice comments. Appreciate you guys' support so far. Again, if you guys have donated super chats or are thinking about donating super chats, we will get to them when we have a break. We do shout out all our super chats when we can. We just aren't there yet, so we're continuing to watch these storms as they fire across the region. Again, we're live looking at the Northern Mountain Ski Resort Camp, by the way, looking to the north at a new storm. Oops. Go back to me here. It's fired up to the north of Norway, kind of along the line up towards Foster City over to Rock. So nothing concerning in that. Our main concern right now continues to be this tornado warning with quite the hook on our 7-mile marsh road. That's, I wonder if it's almost closer now. We're at 5,100 feet away. Go to Green Bay, and Green Bay is still 7,100 feet off the ground. So Marquette is still close.
Interesting little, I'm going to call it a scud right now. It looks attached, but interesting little feature going on right here.
Yeah, zoom in on that.
I don't see much motion.
That would be the right spot for something. It matches up with velocity. If there's anything, it's very weak.
Right. I'm with you.
I would keep an eye on that, just in case.
Will do.
Suspicious. We have 2 couplets now, kind of, sort of. I think our main one's still back. Yeah, our main one's still back here on 7 Mile Marsh Road. This is at 7 Mile Marsh and North Branch Road. That's where the center's rotation is at. Looking at correlation coefficient. I saw you mention something about perhaps a brief CC drop, Ryan, in this area, but I have not.
I didn't say anything about that.
Okay. I thought I saw you text something about that, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't. Let me line this up. Let me dual pane this real quick. This is forensics at its greatest right now, just eyeballing every single scan. Maybe. We won't know, of course, until... Oh, actually, let me do a 2D scan of this storm. There is a diagonal slot in there that goes up of of pretty low CC, but that might be a clear air slot. It's still I would say, Ryan, this is still very close to tornado genesis at the current time. So I would not be surprised if there is perhaps something spinning up low to the ground that might not be lofting that debris all the way up. But again, ground truth is everything. So we do appreciate any reports you guys have in. You look like you said you were going to say something.
Nope, just shaking my head in agreement with you.
Okay. Latest scan? That is...
Yeah, it's also kind of hard because we're getting further away from the radar site here. I don't have any CC with it, but yeah, rotation is definitely increased. I got inbound, outbound close to 60 on each, so about 120 mile per hour gate to gate on that.
Yeah.
The Green Bay radar is a little bit weaker further up. So right now I call it mid-level rotation for sure.
Stronger. It's that 0 to 1 at play right now. 0 to 1 SRH.
Yep. Well, the good news, though, if this does, in fact, put something down, it's going to be over water fairly quickly. If it does put down, it's going to be right along North Fox Lane 29. M35 here. I see 29.6 lane, 29.6 lane again. F lane, as well as 28 lane. Once again, the UP comes in clutch for wild road names.
There's a couple unnamed roads out there too. If it does touch down, there is a lot of trees out here as well. So, trees are light. We've seen it before where you get like a really deep debris ball from going through heavily forested areas. This would probably be one of those instances here where it's traveling right down the Delta Menominee County line. It's on the time zone line right now, actually, between the two counties. So this tornado, if there's a tornado on the ground, not saying there is, but it's in 2 different time zones existing at the exact same time at the current time, because it's traveling right down the county line. But if you are in, where's Fox? Yes, Fox is a little bit off this. Fox is still in it, though. If you're in Fox and points north of Fox, Michigan, I definitely do want to be taking shelter at the current time. This is heading right also for the... There's actually a lot of houses along the lake here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these scans are not fun to look at right now. That could be something. Go ahead.
I'm waiting for the new CC to pop in because I don't have that yet.
I do. There's nothing there.
Okay.
I'm gonna hope that is just all elevated at the current time. That is right in the center of that hook right now. F lane. There are 0 houses on F lane, but there are houses along M35 here. So again, this is the M35 corridor between Limpert and North Fox Lane. There's quite a few houses, and the most houses right now are all up and down. Well, actually, F lane does curl around here into 2960 lane. There's probably 100 houses here on that 2960 lane part. This tiny little road that you see goes north and south along the lakeshore. At least 100 houses, maybe 150 here. So not a good spot for this rotation to be passing through, and eventually it's going to be on to Lake Michigan very shortly. But before it does that, it's got to go and cross through this one strip of houses here. So if you guys are in this strip of houses here along F lane, 2960 lane, and M35 here just to the south and on Limpert Road, that rotation is very strong at the current time with the reds and greens very close together. This is where we see that hook together, that hand holding hands motion on this storm. So again, if you are there at that current time, if you know anybody there, the time is now to be taking shelter. Again, it's tornado warning for tornado and baseball sized hail. 295 at 19 degrees is our storm motion.
Got some more crazy skill looking on the Norway cam if you want to take that back for a few. Up to you, though. It's nothing important.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a scud bomb for sure.
Courtesy of Norway Mountain Ski Resort here, facing to the north. This camera is infamous for the aurora, but it's not too often we get to see rotating storms on this camera.
Right. If the storm, for whatever reason, continues to be a supercell as it heads onto the lake, which it does have a good shot at staying like that for at least a little bit, if it maintains itself, it's going to be heading towards St. Martin Island, Gull Island, Little Gull Island, Poverty Island and the Poverty Island Lighthouse, Summer Island and Little Summer Island. Those are all islands here in the Michigan jurisdiction, just south of Fairport. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6 different little islands out here. There's also this big island known as Washington Island. That's part of Wisconsin, part of Door County, Wisconsin. So that is not covered here by our coverage here at MSC. But again, if you are in Washington, if you're on Washington Island right now, again, it's actually a pretty populated area. Very popular tourist location out there on that island. So if you're in Wisconsin looking on, this rotating thunderstorm is heading your way. The rotation has now passed onto F lane at 2960 lane right now. So it's over those houses right now. We really hope everyone's okay at that location. Again, we never want to see that strong rotation passing over a bunch of houses, and that's what we're currently seeing right now. So our hope and prayers right now are that these people are safe inside of that tornado warning. But again, it's very hard to determine whether or not tornadoes on the ground when we are looking at data coming in from a mile above the surface. So anything below 5,200 feet right now, we can't see on radar. So if there's a weak tornado ongoing and the debris is only being lofted up to 5,100 feet instead of 5,200 feet, guess what? We can't see that on radar. So we don't know for certain until sometimes after these storms do go past. So if there is any reports of damage here in central Menominee County from Kearney over towards the M35 corridor near Fox, feel free to let us know. We'll pass this information along to the National Weather Service office.
Positive note with that storm, though, the rotation's pretty much on its last track on shore. Next game we get should be over water.
And even better news right now at the current time, Ryan, we are now almost warning free.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the last technically warned storm here. I don't see any severe warnings unless I'm mistaken here, but I have nothing on my screens.
Yeah,
And
Schoolcraft. Schoolcraft County was dropped.
none of the storms that are on radar, at least to me, look menacing. All the VIL is pretty subtle. There's no wind velocity, there's no rotation. So I'd be more inclined here to take a brief break if we can here, Joel.
Yeah.
Obviously when this warning is dropped, but
Right.
I don't see anything that warrants attention, at least at this current time. Recharge, get some food, and get ready for tonight.
Absolutely. New scan coming in. They're now at 8:02 p.m. Eastern, 7:02 Central. Go ahead.
There is 2 areas of rotation now in the latest scan.
Yep. One of them offshore, one of them really close to shore. A little nerve-wracking there. Warning has been trimmed a little more.
They have continued for baseball size hail.
Yeah. I'm doing a 2D slice of this storm right now. I don't see anything that screams debris being lofted, but again, if it's anything, it would be lower to the surface because we're so far up here. 3D scan of the storm. Just out of curiosity, this storm is up to around 50,000 feet. Hail core still up around 30,000 feet. Very large and expansive in nature too. So at the current time, still some hail risk with this one. And eventually heading towards portions of Delta County. That, honestly, Ryan, we might get a severe thunderstorm warning here soon for those islands. We'll see, though. I mean,
Another report.
Go ahead.
Another report out of Powers. What appears eyeballing it between lime and tennis ball size.
Mm-hmm. So this water spout video I'm looking at right now, this person just intercepted it in their vehicle?
Yeah.
Nice. Love that. We're also getting non-thunderstorm wind gust reports now in northern Michigan up around 40 miles per hour. The latest one comes in from Greeleyville near Traverse City. 40 mile per hour wind gust. Non-thunderstorm. Makes sense. There is a beach hazard statement out there, and those waves are 3 to 7 feet today. So,
hey, check my cam real quick. Underneath the lowering here in Norway, I'm getting some kick up of what could be scud getting pulled up, or perhaps dust.
Looks like some.
Trying to see if there's motion on it, but it's hard to tell at this distance.
Yeah, looks like some scud. Did that video of the person literally sitting in that water spout get posted to the page?
What?
That video of the
Yeah.
person. Goodness. That's crazy. Pro tip: don't sit in your car and intercept a water spout. Would not recommend. Congratulations, you got your 15 seconds of fame, but your life means a little more than that. Also, a little bit of rotation, trying to kick up on the backside of the storm, south of Manistee right now on County Highway 435. That's near the Garden area, in between Garden and Manistee. Just noticed that real quick. It's there. It's definitely there, but this is going to be off onto the waters very, very soon. So the National Weather Service in Gaylord already putting out a special marine warning for the islands around Beaver Island. Lake Michigan south of the line from Solshoy Point. I think that's the tornado warning going away. That ding that just came in, and it is. So we are now, for the first time in just under 3 hours, We are warning free. You'll see that red box. Oops, I need to go back to the radar. There we go. Go back to the radar there. That red box can pop off soon. We're watching, again, on radar, this little area of weak rotation right now on County Highway 435, south of Manistee. But that will be onto the waters here within the next 3 minutes, heading over Wiggins Point Road. But yeah, that video is on our social media pages. It's on Facebook, I know for sure. I don't know if we posted it anywhere else, Ryan, but it is on Facebook. Feel free to go check it out. Michigan Storm Chasers on Facebook. And yeah. New downburst signature, by the way, ongoing right now. Cooks Lake Road. That is a pixel of 57 miles per hour. Cooks Lake Road. This is in Alger County at the current time. You can see if I loop this back, it really just went from weak reds to strong to severe reds in the matter of 3 scans. So that is a cell to watch. And a bunch of truck trails out here to the west of Steuben, east of Trinary, rural portions of southern Alger County. That would be heading off towards Schoolcraft County soon. There's also a 1-inch hail marker on it too. Correlation coefficient does have a little bit of yellows and oranges mixing in there. Yeah, that latest scan, Ryan, that's quite the downburst. Oh, it's my favorite road name that I was pronouncing last time. Zackerzuk's Trail. It's spelled Zackarczuk. And I remember someone pointed out that the C is silent, so it's Zackerzuk. So Zackerzuk's Trail, downburst ongoing right now in Alger County. This could be the start of one of our line. Yeah, it's starting to get its act together here, Ryan. It's this back line. And models did have it multiple times, actually, over the last 24 to 36 hours. I've seen multiple models throw out 2 different distinct lines of storms later tonight. And this could be the start of it, especially if we're starting to see an increase in downburst winds back here near the Trinary area, the Zackerzuk Trail location. County Highway 198A also underneath that downburst. Looking back at our previously tornado-warned storm, that's still some pretty strong rotation that is over the water right now, heading east-southeast. That would be passing close to Washington Island. Kind of in between Washington Island and St. Martin's Island, or St. Martin. I don't know if they pronounce it differently out there, but St. Martin Island is the southernmost island there in Delta County. And zooming in on radar, that is this little white polygon there on the map. So for the most part, I think it might, if we're lucky enough, it'll pass in between those 2 islands. So with Washington Island, Wisconsin, and St. Martin Island, Michigan. Smith says, tagged you guys in a few Facebook videos of waterspouts. Thank you very much, Smith. So to kind of recap what has been happening in the last 3 hours, we had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that popped up pretty quickly, and then it turned into 3 tornado warnings in Iron, Dickinson, and Marquette counties. Multiple other tornado warnings came into play, heading over towards Alger and Delta, and Menominee County down here was the latest one. I wasn't keeping track, but I think we had at least 8 tornado warnings this afternoon here in the Upper Peninsula. So it's been a busy day. A lot of large hail reports also coming in. 2 to 3 inch hail definitely reported. Again, if you guys have any hail reports, so keep reiterating this until I turn blue in the face. Please, 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 please measure your hail with some sort of coin or ruler or common object. If you have like a pop can on you, let us know what type of pop can, like a 12 ounce or 16 ounce pop can. Usually we can kind of figure out the dimensions of that. It's better than nothing. It's better than just holding the hail in your hand and sending it our way. So for future reference, if you guys ever encounter hail, coin, ruler, sports ball, or some sort of common object is greatly appreciated. out of all the special marine warnings currently in effect, I believe just this one that's issued by the National Weather Service in Marquette for their very southern fringe of northern Lake Michigan, if that makes sense. That is the only one that has water spout possible on it at the current time. On the Green Bay side of things, they also have theirs as water spouts possible, and lightning has just upticked a little bit even more here as it heads towards St. Martin Island. Go back to the downburst. Where is it at? It disappeared. It was there and gone over Zacherzucht Trail. Now heading towards U.S. Forest Service 2184 road. It was a very short-lived one. This is still a line that is trying to get its act together, so we'll have to keep an eye on this line. Also have congealing storms right now. Area of convergence ongoing just to the northwest of Schaefer. And that will need to be monitored as well. Tornado warning has been issued.
Huh?
Tornado warning has been issued. However, it is not in Michigan. It is Washington Island. They issued a tornado warning for Washington Island in Wisconsin. Special northern Wisconsin coverage here, Ryan. Northern Door County in northeastern Wisconsin until 8 p.m. Central. They're tracking a storm at 7:12 of possible tornado located 19 miles north of Newport State Park or 38 miles northeast of Marinette, moving southeast at 35. They have tornado and core-sized hail on that in its radar indicated rotation. So to our Wisconsin nights on Washington Island, you now have a tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service in Green Bay until 8 p.m. Central. As the storm continues to exhibit some strong rotation, the supercell continues to exhibit some strong rotation. That's why I'm kind of like waiting and seeing here, Ryan, if Marquette does something for extreme southern Delta. Because they could easily pull it for the islands here. But pretty populated area there on that island. We have the town of Jackson Harbor, Washington, and Detroit Harbor on Washington Island. While I have a moment, though, quick shout out to Mariah, the Zam, back for month number 1 as a silver member saying, hey, MSC in chat. Hello, Maria. Red Dozier, $20 super chat saying, I have friends in Mastique and just sent them the heads up. Thanks, guys. No problem, Red Dozier. Thank you for using our information to your advantage there and also for supporting us as always. Got Healing Shy, $4.99 super chat. Jeremy M sending 5 gifted memberships. For those who are subscribed for free here on YouTube, check your account. Also, Rise Against, one of our moderators, sending 1 gifted membership. Appreciate you guys for your support. So cells continue to push towards northwest lower Michigan. In Michigan, though, there is one warning. I will say this right now. There's a flash flood warning still in effect for Deer Inn, Autrain, and Munising. In effect for another 2 hours. 2.5 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible in the warned area with flash flooding ongoing or expected to begin shortly. That is also another thing to think about here is the terrain in Elgin County here. There's these big old slopes that come down off of the cliff there around the M28 corridor. So definitely a good hilly terrain there for a lot of water to pool into and kind of just flash flood across the area. So definitely a much needed flash flood warning, especially with those showers that we're training over the same area a lot during our super weather coverage. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch also in effect for, Ryan, you said it was 20 different counties?
Let me count. I believe it was 20. I'll read those off if you want me to.
Nope, I counted them. There's 20.
Okay.
Antrim, Benzie, Charlevoix, Sheboygan, Clare, Crawford, Emmett, Grand Traverse, Kalkaska, Lake, Leelanau, Mackinac, Manistee, Mason, Missaukee, Montmorency, Osceola, Otsego, Presque Isle, and Wexford. I did that all in one breath. So that's basically a good chunk of northwest lower Michigan. Most of it is in the Gaylord viewing area, except for Mason, Lake, Osceola, and Clare counties. I have a sneaky feeling they are about to issue a warning for these islands. I kid you not. Also, some strong winds moving into the Gladstone area along that secondary band now. Again, that's probably going to be the area to watch here. Is this new area of interest? A lot of actually, Ryan, yeah, a lot of lightning starting to come in here across all of these cells. Gladstone, Escanaba, Perkins area. The cells up here that did have a downburst previously in the Steuben area, south of Shingleton. A lot of lightning on that. Also, a little bit of hail mixing in, but this is transitioning more into a wind risk. New downburst actually ongoing right now on County Road 445, about 5 miles to the northwest of Steuben.
Those who don't know, when we see an uptick in lightning, typically it means a storm can be intensifying. Other times, though, it also could mean the storm is decaying rapidly. It can be both ways, but in an environment like today, I would lean heavily toward the intensification side.
Let's take a look at ZDR. ZDR radar, yeah, it's a mix of both. There's new updrafts and there's also downdrafts that are kind of colliding with each other here. Again, we're looking at ZDR radar. We're looking for the hotter colors. It's more kind of color neutral at the current time, so not positively or negatively buoyant. It's kind of just storms that are existing but just kind of sustaining their neutral buoyancy at the current time. See a couple people talking about the rain up to the north and how that's helped out today. Yeah, these showers and storms were, if I recall, and they still are ongoing up there. There's a low pressure system up there in north of Lake Superior right now that is kind of spinning around and allowing for showers to move through the area. So that should provide relief in an ideal world for portions of northern Minnesota and western Ontario that are being impacted by some of these wildfires out there. So fingers crossed. Tornado watch is still in effect all the way back through Gogebic, Ontonagon, and Houghton counties. I don't think there'll be anything else tornadic. Yeah, it's pretty. Atmosphere is pretty rolled over right now up there to the west. Capping inversion is really starting to come into play. I don't see much in the way of any more storm development further to the west tonight. So this will probably be our this line down here is basically it. At the current time. So we'll keep an eye on a bunch of this stuff. A lot of different cells out here to keep an eye on tonight. And yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and read off some of our trusted partners. Again, if you have any super chats you want to drop down, feel free to do so right now. Feel no need to give if you don't want to. We're going to go ahead and read off our trusted partners right now, which help kind of fund these streams throughout the year. Appreciate them for their support. And if you guys need any services done by these trusted partners, they are all licensed and insured and personally vetted. And that saves you guys the hassle when it comes to contacting unknown sources, you could say, on severe weather days. So go with a known source, go with one of our trusted partners here on stream. Also, before I read it off, I did want to give a PSA real quick. You notice today that, we're talking about weather cameras and whatnot. We'd love to have more weather cameras in the Upper Peninsula. If you guys are in the UP, you have a business or a residence with a great house or a great view out towards, the west or the north, Aurora is very common in the Upper Peninsula. We're always looking for new weather camera locations, and especially in the Upper Peninsula where we really only have a dozen or so. Again, we do appreciate any new cameras to get in because, again, on days like today, it would have been nice to, have ground truth in some of these locations, especially in Marquette where we don't have any weather cameras. We have one in Negaunee, but we don't have one in the Marquette area or Harvey, for example. So, again, if you are interested in sponsoring a weather camera, it's a one-time fee. Ryan, right below me, is your contact, your go-to. I don't know, Ryan, if you want me to say your email or if you just want to put the link in chat to the form they could fill out. I'll let you speak a little bit more about that real quick.
Yeah, it's Ryan at MichiganStormChasers.com. We do have a form that we give out to interested parties, so I can send that to you if you're interested. Also, we are pretty much caught up for the most part with our cameras, so we are continually taking applications. We're coordinating with a few people, but overall, we're just kind of waiting on people to get back to us at this point. So we are opening that up here shortly again for more sponsorships. So again, my email is Ryan, RYAN, at Michigan Storm Chasers, all written out, .com.
There you go. At the current time, for those who are curious, we do not have any. Well, we do have one confirmation of a waterspout that moved on shore that would likely be counted as the 24th tornado in Michigan this year. I saw the LSR on here. Marquette. I have to laugh. Their LSR for the waterspout coming out, the tornado, the waterspout, it is a confirmed tornado, officially. The video shows waterfall making landfall at Shot Point. Is the official location.
How many times did I say that road name on stream as that storm was approaching?
Yeah.
How many times?
Yep, Shot Point Drive. Waterfall making landfall. I love it. That's okay. We all have typos every once in a while. But that's the only known quote unquote tornado so far that we've heard today. Check out all those funnel cloud reports over there in Wisconsin, by the way. It's like 4 of them. But yeah, only one tornado so far. Again, there's about 8 or so tornado warnings across the central and western Upper Peninsula. The tornado watch was in effect all the way back towards Gogebic, Ontonaga, and Houghton counties. You guys didn't really get much. It was just trying to figure out where that line was going to fire up, and that's when they issued the tornado watch. And again, you guys were in the threat for this tornadic weather today, and so that's why the tornado watch was issued. Now, again, tornado watch means conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed. Tornado warning is more on the lines of, hey, tornado could be developing and touching down at any moment. You need to be taking shelter. So that's the difference between a watch and a warning. Again, in a watch, not all the time you will get a warning or confirmation of severe weather. So keep that in mind going forward here from today. Yeah, going back into what I was saying, kind of pivoting back here to our trusted partners. We'll go ahead and read those off now in alphabetical order as always. Down there at the bottom of the screen, you'll find the business and phone number, and I will tell you guys which side of the state they cover. Starting first with A-Class Construction and Restoration, located in Northwest Lower Michigan. That number might be helpful for later tonight. Wink, wink. Northwest Lower Michigan. The storm's heading your way. American Arbor, Southwest Michigan for all of your tree needs. Apex Restoration Mitigation, located in Genesee County and the Thumb. Battle Creek IT, located in Battle Creek. Carlton Equipment Company for all of your equipment rental needs across the Lower Peninsula primarily. Crystal Flash, specializing in fuel and propane delivery needs across the state of Michigan. Ink Media for all of your website design and digital marketing strategies. Katz Roofing and Siding, located in Lansing and Potterville. Kuiper Tree Care for all of your tree care needs in West Michigan. And for Southeastern Michigan, it's McKay Tree Specialists. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding, located in Sanilac and St. Clair counties. On Top Roofing, located in Livingston County. PFCU Credit Union, located in multiple branches around Southern Lower Peninsula. Rainbow Restoration, located in West Michigan. Rapid Radios, Grand Rapids-based company specializing in LTE wireless walkie-talkies. Ronald McDonald House Charities of Detroit, feel free to donate today by calling the number on screen. Surf Pro, covering the entire state 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Storm Guard Metro Detroit North, located in North Metro Detroit, covering Oakland, Macomb, and Washtenaw counties. Top Gun Roofing Exteriors, located in West Michigan. Top Notch Tree Care, located over in the Lansing and Jackson region. And lastly, Victor's Home Solutions, covering the Lower Peninsula, but especially the Tri-Cities area of Midland, Bay City, Saginaw, and Mount Pleasant. Those are all of our trusted partners. Again, over there on the right side of the screen, you can always find them during any stream scrolling through. Also over there on the bottom right side of the screen, we have ways to donate and follow us on certain social media accounts. We might have a break. I think we should take advantage of it, Ryan. I know there's still storms kind of looming here in the Escanaba area. Very, very strong thunderstorm, I would say, at the current time. There's no statement on it, though, so I feel like they're also kind of just over today. And again, good job by Marquette today. They did a good job with all the warnings out there. Kudos to them. They don't often issue the warnings, the tornado warnings, thunderstorm warnings like we see down in the Lower Peninsula, but they did a really good job out there. I know a couple of colleagues up there, they love their winter weather. We know that for sure. They love their winter weather, but they also will lock in, you could say, when it comes to severe weather. So kudos again to the National Weather Service Marquette for their job well done today. Also, huge shout out to our moderators in chat for helping out in stream. And again, we are watching a rotating storm right now, very close to St. Martin Island. There's no tornado warning in effect. There is a special marine warning for waterspout possible. So if you're in St. Martin Island, if you're watching this, if you're the sole individual or two on St. Martin Island right now watching this, feel free to duck and cover until that storm goes by. But for now, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Ryan, is there anything else you want to add? Any sort of PSA for later?
Not offhand.
Okay. Well, in that case, again, we'll be watching radar behind the scenes. Again, strong thunderstorms do continue across the Upper Peninsula right now, and they're heading towards northwest lower, primarily after 9:30-ish, give or take. So we'll probably be live here within the next hour or so. But for now, we're going to go ahead and take a food break. Hopefully we won't jinx it. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside President of Operations Ryan right below me. We're Michigan Storm Chasers signing off for now. We'll probably catch you back later for more severe weather coverage here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Take care. Hit that like button on the way out, and we'll see you guys soon.